Up top, yeah, we keeping it smooth. Your favorite paralegal got the legal groove. From the stars in the courtroom to your cousin's case, we breaking it all down. No rush, just pace. Hey y'all, it is your girl, your favorite paralegal, aka Cassandra Lynn, and welcome to Legal Doc Talk 24/7. So we are going to wait for some people to come on in. We are waiting. Hopefully, I am live on Facebook. I gotta go to Facebook and see. Yeah, I am. That's good. That's good. Okay, so I'm one of those, I don't even know what you call it, unorthodox type of YouTuber. All right, so before we get started with everything, put my phone on the charger. Before we get started with anything, there's going to be a few ground rules that we need to make sure that we lay down. I have moderators. Good morning to everybody, first and foremost. But I do have moderators. And one thing I don't tolerate on my channel is disrespect or hate comments or anything of that nature, because my moderators will definitely get you put out. Okay, so I'm just going to just ensure that everybody know how I roll. I go from 0 to 100 about my channel. We are all adults. We all can talk like adults. There's no need for name calling, nothing of that nature. Okay, so as you can see, what we're going to talk about today is Karmelo Anthony's case, and y'all, I have notes. And there's a few things that we need to address. I'm going to show all of the evidence in a couple of minutes, but there are a few things that I do want to address. One, I live next door to Collin County. But for one, I've been in Texas since 1992. Okay. I've watched the surrounding cities and counties grow. I grew up in Denton County, in the colony specifically, in Carrollton. Went off to college, came back married, and moved back to Denton County. Got a divorce, moved to Collin County, prosper in Collin County. My younger two children was born in Frisco, Texas. So this is not something that I'm just, hopping on just for the sake of it. I'm addressing it because I am a resident of Texas. The county next to me is Collin County. My kids, and it's crazy because before I had kids and I moved back to Texas, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna move to Frisco. My kid's gonna go to the best school, yada, yada, yada. And then just kind of living and watching your surrounding, watching how, because mind you, like I said, I've been here since 92. And I have, as a kid, and I have watched everything grow. I have watched people come in. I have watched people leave the county. So when I moved back, before I had kids, Collin County, like Frisco was the place. Frisco was the place. And if you was black or you was brown and you live in Frisco, man, that means you're rich. But it does come with a lot of, I don't want to say consequences. That's not the right term. It comes with a lot of uncertainty, if that makes sense. Collin County right now is, so you have, so you have Collin County, Dallas County, Tarrant County, Hill County, Johnson County, Ellis County, Grayson County, Did I say Denton? I think I said Denton, Hunt. All of those are the surrounding counties. Out of the counties that I just mentioned, the most fair county that I can say now, I don't know if you guys know this, but I am a paralegal. I do work in the legal field. I do personal injury, family law. I have contracted with some attorneys handling criminal law cases. So I have seen quite a few things. I know quite a few things. Just even dealing with car wrecks. If we have a case at Collin County, nobody wants to file a case in district court. They was like, take it to county court. It's because these attorneys out here already know these counties. But going back to what I was saying, Collin County is the most conservative county out of those. I'm trying to think. Hill County is conservative. I think Hill County and Collin County is running neck and neck. For most fair county, I would say, is Dallas County. Next to Dallas County, I would say Denton County. So from fairness to non-fair, I would say Dallas, Denton, Tarrant, uh, Hill, and then Collin. I don't know. Those are tied. Okay. But Collin County over the years is very, very, very conservative. And I'm not discouraging any of my black and brown brothers and sisters or any minority from going to free. I still got friends that live in Collin County, but me personally, as a mother who had young children at the time, and just kind of seeing the surroundings, living in Prosper, it was nice, but I was like, I want to move my children to a more diverse place. So I moved to Richardson. Now, part of Richardson is Collin County, part of it is Dallas County. I live in the Dallas County part. My kids went to Richardson ISD, best school district in my opinion. Everybody else will have their own opinion about that, but my kids, they flourishing in Richardson ISD. But I said, okay, Collin County just is not for us. I want my kids to experience a different type of setting. Okay, so I moved them to Richardson. So we live in Dallas County. I love Dallas County. Now, I'm not saying that everything is peaches and cream over here in Dallas County, but it's okay. I teach my kids to make sure they are aware of their surroundings and everything. I also teach my kids that you have a purpose here. I didn't even plug my laptop up here. You have a purpose here. You have a purpose. One thing can't nobody take from you is your joy and your education. So before anybody come up on my live and said that I'm not educated, my kids is thugs and all this other stuff, I need y'all to look at that. And my kids, engineering, or my oldest is doing engineering. My middle child just graduated from high school and he wants to be a chemist. Graduate honors. So don't come on my stream trying to badmouth me, okay? But enough about me. So that's just a little background, okay? I used to live in Collin County. My kids was born in the Collin County. Collin County is very conservative. Right now, there is a big debate for Muslims to now. Compound is kind of a word that we really don't want to say because I'm thinking about David Koresh and Rayco. We think of compound, we think bad things happen on a compound. But Collin County is the same county where Muslims proposed a 400 acre to purchase a 400 acre land to build a community. And the residents of Collin County is fighting back. And me and my boyfriend had a discussion about that. And, he told me his, thoughts. And I was like, well, that just seems kind of discriminatory. Like, why can't they? And he was going on to saying, they might try to take over and all this other stuff. And I was like, what do you mean take over? They want to purchase land to build a community. It's not saying that, okay, nobody else in the community, in the surrounding areas can't come. They are offering, like, they want to build schools, they want to build apartments, they want to build businesses. Okay, that's what they want to do. And they're saying people from other areas can travel here and they can work. They could teach in the schools. They can live in the houses and the apartments and so on and so forth. They could work at the businesses. But Collin County is fighting hard. The whole state of Texas, Governor Hot Wheels or Greg Abbott is fighting them. Yet we go down to South Texas and Elon Musk has pretty much brought acres of land, building jobs in a community down there. So what is the difference? Because they're Muslim? But that's the kind of things that we're dealing with in Collin County. Before I get to Karmelo's evidence, I want to talk about, well, I already told you about Collin County. Like I said, I've experienced for myself. They are a little bit racist. They are conservative. That's my opinion. And you can take my opinion as is, okay? But we need to talk about the DA, Greg Willis. My old firm, my best friend, actually was the paralegal on that case. And it was a sexual assault case against Mr. Greg Willis. And you know what? I'm going to switch to another screen so I can pull this up. People, especially my black and brown people, I'm not trying to turn this into no racist thing because it's not about race, but the actions that are happening right now is causing a division. And I feel if we don't stand up and speak about it, we're going to keep going in that same direction. We got to vote. Everybody makes an excuse as to why not. If you look at the judges, elected officials in Collin County, you don't see too many of us. You don't see too many brown. You don't see, it's not diverse. But going back to this DA, he had a sexual assault, and my old firm is the one who actually handled that sexual assault case. And the stories against that DA is crazy. I don't understand how somebody can be a prosecutor with these particular claims. I really don't understand. What is this going on? I'm trying to pull up my so y'all can see this screen. And I don't know if my chat is working. I really don't, because share my screen. Yeah, y'all know I don't ever do things by the book. What in the world is going on? I'm just gonna let's do this. Mine wants to act crazy. I wanted to bring up the complaint so I can just kind of read to you guys exactly. Here we go. It's pulling up. So this is the complaint. It was filed in federal court. So this is the complaint. Plaintiffs Kim Pickrell, Keith Hensley, Fallon LaFleur, another individual, Jane Doe 1, Jane Doe 2, filed a lawsuit against Greg Willis, who is the prosecutor in the DA in Collin County. They filed it against Greg Willis, Bill, Chris, Daryl, Susan, Cheryl, and Duncan for discrimination harassment, and retaliation. This is what happened. So racism is still alive and well in Collin County, whether you want to believe that or not. I'm just saying. Um, I might drop this. I don't know where I'm gonna drop it at, so you guys can. I'm gonna read just a little bit about it, so y'all can understand the prosecution, the people who prosecuted Karmelo Anthony and so many others in Collin County. As reinforced by Collin County Human Resources, the elected district attorney is considered untouchable. Y'all hear that? As reinforced by Collin County Human Resources, the elected district attorney is considered untouchable. This is not a secret. The power and authority wielded by district attorney is formidable. This is not just a boss who holds the prosecutors and investigators' jobs in his hands. DA Willis has the power to destroy career in criminal law enforcement and inflict penal reprisal. He can decide who will be investigated, referred for indictment, and criminally prosecuted. Such power constrained his victims from exposing his misconduct or into maintaining anonymity, being anonymous, when decrying his abuses until they could no longer suffer silently. This is the individual, the district attorney, who is over Karmelo Anthony's case. Y'all see that? He can decide who is investigated, refer for indictment, and criminally prosecuted. Collin County government employees, more than 1,000 employees. The district attorney is required to represent the state of Texas and county and district courts on criminal matters, as well as to work with investigate criminal matters, represent victims of violence and seeking protective orders, and finally to represent the state to remove children in abusive households. The employees of the district attorney are paid by the county, whom the district attorney represents on behalf of the state of Texas. Both the district attorney, his agents, and Collin County government are required to provide equal protection under the law and provide protection to employees from discrimination, harassment, and retaliation, just as private sector employees are required to provide. So that right there alone should give you an understanding of what the DA does and what he controls. So keep that in mind when we start looking at this evidence. Now, I was like, if y'all this is y'all first time to my live, y'all know I be pulling up stuff all over the place. So give me a second. 2 counties. I'm going to talk about Denton County for a second and Collin County. I'll be working. Let me see which one I want to pull up. I'll pull up this one. So in 2023, I'm sorry, there was a young man shot another young man in Little M, which is Denton County, in the area I purchased my first house in. And I thought that was crazy because, mind you, I thought it was a good neighborhood. And I mean, it is, because you could go anywhere and anything can go down, right? And Little M, and I want to be very clear, I'm not making this about race, but I want you guys to understand how the law is applied to one group versus another group. Okay? This individual was sentenced to 4 years for shooting and killing a young man. Little M is in Denton County, neighboring Collin County. Wait, is it Denton? So kind of borders. A Denton County juror sentenced Alec Adamson to 4 years in prison on Monday for the shooting of 19-year-old David Pleasant in Little Elm in 2023. Alec drove from Prosper, Collin County, to go do a um, a deal. That's what we're going to call it in Denton County. Originally on trial for first and was convicted of lesser included aggravated assault. A lesser included offense. The jury found Adamson guilty of murder as he was if they feel the evidence did not fully support the offense as charged, but did not support a guilty verdict either. Again, I'm going to say this. This is in Denton County, the neighboring county to Collin County. Adamson faced 2 to 20 years in prison. The jury deliberated for about 3.5 hours before delivering the sentence. Adamson also received over 2 years and 1 month of jail credit towards his sentence for the time he spent in Denton County Jail awaiting trial. As a result, he already served over half of his sentence and is immediately eligible for parole. The Pleasant family had told Denton Record Chronicle on Friday that they did not have a specific sentence in mind. The family said that they did not expect Adamson to spend his whole life in prison, but ideally they would like him to serve more time than the 2 years he already has. State prosecutors Paul and Lauren had asked the jurors to impose the maximum punishment of 20 years in prison. After the sentence verdict, David Pleasant's mother, Aisha Pleasant, gave an impassionate victim impact statement and addressed Adam directly. Before the trial, Aisha said she was not sure how she would feel seeing Adamson. Surprisingly, she said, "I didn't hate you." I'm gonna turn y'all for a second. She told Adamson about a time when another student assaulted her son at school because he thought David was messing with his girlfriend. She said her son declined to press charges against the other student. Her reason for telling the story, she said, is because that is how she knows David Pleasant would have forgiven Adamson for killing him. Miss Pleasant said she would eventually forgive him, but right now nothing about the scenario makes sense to her. She left the courtroom in tears. Sarah Rowland, one of Adamson's defense attorneys, told Record Chronicle after the trial ended that it was clear the jury's conviction verdict was a compromise. That is the only way, Rowland said, that it would make sense that the jury convicted him of aggravated assault. For the jury to find him guilty of aggravated assault, Rowland said they would also had to believe the shooting was unjustifiable. If the jury did not believe there was defensible reasoning for the shooting, Rowland said, then the offense would be murder. So, in a nutshell, what happened was an individual thought that he was being robbed. He pulled out a gun and he shot the 19-year-old. Now, what I'm going to say to you guys right here, I want y'all to understand. I don't know why Trump put. I'm going to show you the shooter. We're going to take out the race portion of this. This is the shooter. He killed a 19-year-old black boy. This individual here got 4 years. In Denton County, they gave him 4 years. It went from a murder charge down to a lesser charge, the aggravated assault. But you see the compassion of David's mother. Totally different from what has happened in Karmelo's case. But I want to ensure that you guys understand these are two different counties. And as I stated before, Denton County is conservative, but they're a little bit more fair than Collin County. All right. So that's the case. That's the case there. So let's go on to Camilla's because I know everybody, that's what y'all was waiting for. So we're going to go ahead and head on over to Collin County. Now, oh, that's one thing I wanted to address. There's a lot of stuff that's going around about Austin and Hunter's father. And I got an email early in the morning. You know, one thing that I do is I ensure that when I do research, I check all the databases. I check Westlaw, I check the county websites, I check everything. So there is an image of Jeff Metcalf with a 2011 mugshot. There was speculation that it wasn't Austin's dad or Hunter's dad and all this other stuff. So I'm gonna show you guys something so everybody could be on the same page because one, I do not like misinformation. I do not like that at all. Um, let's see, Metcalf, and I'm just gonna put in Austin so y'all can see this. Ah, where is it at? I don't know what possessed me to get a whole bunch of well, dogs, but I know y'all better not start. Hmm. There we go. Because I was like, I knew I wasn't going crazy. All right. This is public record, by the way. Okay. Y'all see me do it. Y'all can do it as well. Austin and Hunter's father is Jeffrey Charles Metcalf. All right. We are confirming he is a real estate agent. Okay. You can go to his LinkedIn profile and you can see what he does. So this is definitely his father. Now, people are also bringing up that 2011 incident. Yes, it is him. But we have to be very, very careful on how we are putting out this information. And I'm not pulling up that record because, for one, I don't know where that record came from. Me personally, I can't find it. So I'm going to utilize this rest law and the county website. So I did confirm that this is Jeff. However, y'all need to understand he was not convicted. I repeat, this man was not convicted for the sexual assault. Now, if you guys are just using AI or Google, y'all need to stop it. I'm just going to tell y'all right now. Y'all need to stop it because who is that? Tasha K's attorneys got in trouble for using case law that was fake because they generated from AI. It's crazy. But this is what everybody is seeing, I'm assuming. Let me see. Metcalf versus Texas. So people just type in stuff and they automatically, oh my God, there he is. This here that y'all are seeing, this is not Jeffrey Charles Metcalf. If you actually clicked on it and actually read it, y'all would know first and foremost, this is in a county that is on the border of Louisiana. It is nowhere over here in Collin County. Look, this right here should even give Panola County. And if you did your background research, you would know that Jeff Charles Metcalf never lived in Panola County. And if you want to do I know people use Truth Finder, been verified, and all that other stuff. Me personally, I use LexisNexis or TLO. And that's what normally all of your information is coming from LexisNexis. But in this particular case, this was a sexual assault case. that happened over the years. Okay. No mention, none of Jeffrey Metcalf. Wrong individual. So stop putting misinformation out there. Okay. We're not going to do that. But yes, this man was charged based off of what I seen. He was arrested and charged from what I seen for sexual assault. What the nature of it was, we don't know. Why we don't know is because there was never a criminal complaint filed. There was no indictment filed. There is no court case besides what you see on this screen here that shows that there was a criminal complaint filed. There was, litigation process and then a conviction and a sentence. None of that. It stopped here. So he was arrested on June 14, 2011, got out 6/14/2011. A writ of habeas corpus bond reduction was submitted. This is the only thing that is attached to that man's name. So we can't say he was convicted of anything. He's not a felon. He is nothing. Now, is he nasty? Yeah, because obviously he was arrested for sexual assault, but we don't know the extent of anything. There is no information out there other than an arrest. That is all. So y'all can say what y'all want to say about that, but this is it. The only thing that you're going to find on this man is this writ of habeas corpus bond reduction that was submitted. I'm sorry if y'all hear my kids. That's all right. That is all. So y'all can say what y'all want to say about that. Sorry, I just had to make sure. Okay. Oh my gosh. I have to stop because, baby, posting that video, my social media has been blowing up. Okay. So I just want to get that out of the way. So Jeff Charles Metcalf, the real estate agent, yes, that's him. He was arrested that day. He did get out that day. This writ of habeas corpus bond reduction was filed. That is the only thing. So there's nothing to seal. There's nothing to hide. There's nothing to submit a non-disclosure other than his arrest. But obviously y'all found it because it's there. But there, if y'all go back, this is your confirmation, okay? In the state of Texas, sexual assault, you can't seal that. You can't file no non-disclosures. You have to register in the sex registry. All of that. If you do your due diligence for yourself instead of relying on either me or other people, you would actually see that nothing happened. He was not convicted, so therefore he is not a felon. We don't know the extent of anything. We don't know why Collin County did not prosecute Jeffrey Metcalf. All we know is he was arrested, he got out, that's it. No charges, obviously, because everything was obvious. I can't even say everything was dismissed. It just evaporated in the air. But other than that, I would be able to see if there was anything on the website that I use, Westlaw. And I didn't find anything on there. Okay? All right. So I wanted to get that out the way. So let's go to Karmelo's. I think that's all I want to get that out away. Okay. All right. So we talked about the neighboring county, Dayton County, how the other individual who was white ended up getting a 4-year sentence because they brought the charge down to an aggravated assault charge. I also discussed how the mother was sympathetic. Okay, so just to give you guys a visual, white Caucasian male killed a black young man. Okay, the white boy got 4 years. Mother of the victim was sympathetic. That's Denton County for you. Here we go to Collin County. Before I even get into this, and I don't know how true this is, and when we had the big Black Lives Matter movement, I was part of this organization that, and I'm not going to say the individual's name, but most of y'all probably do know him because he has been very, very active since day one. But we had a Black Lives Matter movement, and I'm like, hey, I'm here, I want to make a difference. What organizations out here are in the community? And I ended up joining his organization, and we protest, and behind the scenes we pull records from the like the Dallas Police Department, going through their budget and all this other stuff. So it was very, very effective. And I felt like, hey, this is awesome. But going back to this, and I'm not big on hearsay, but I've heard a lot of people say this, but somebody told the Karmelo's parents not to hire an attorney that I know. All of my Dallas people, we know this attorney. Him and another attorney, he's the best African American attorney in Dallas, Texas. I'm talking about his dismissal rate off the chain, his win rate off the chain. Like, I don't understand why this family did not go to him first. Now that we are here, they are working behind the scenes to ensure that it goes smoothly. And in the event the appeal does work out, then they're ready to, do what they need to do. With that being said, I don't care what area of law you are needing or seeking. One thing an attorney always told me, that you have two different types of attorney. You have one that is a litigation attorney, you have one that's a trial attorney. And I think that is very important. If you are in trouble and you are, facing criminal charges, I strongly suggest that you ask your attorney, hey, what is your rate in court? Because a lot of lawyers, you could be a lawyer and never step foot in the courtroom. I hope y'all know that. You could be a lawyer and never step foot in a courtroom. So it's very important to know if your lawyer ever been to trial. You need to ask, have you been to trial? How many cases have been dismissed? How many cases have you won? So on and so forth. I really wish Karmelo would have went with this particular law firm. Reason being, and it is so hard to say that it's not about race, but we have to look where we are. Collin County, predominantly white, okay? I don't feel that this Karmelo's attorney did him any justice based off of the evidence that was submitted. I was like, this is it. I wish I would have went there, but I had a lot of work that I had to do. And plus I got kids at home where they can fend for themselves. But I really wish I went. But the attorney that we wanted him to go with actually went. So that made me feel a little bit better. But we have a conservative county with a district attorney who does not have a good rap sheet, and we have a black male who was indicted on murder charges, and they go with another attorney. You needed an attorney. Now, it doesn't even have to be a black attorney, but he needed an attorney that was going to fight for him. That's the whole, like, you're the defense. You're supposed to defend your client. Nobody's saying that a crime was not committed. What we're saying is the sentence that was imposed was unfair. We go to the neighboring county. Here we have a charge was dropped to aggravated assault, and an individual got 4 years. Here, 35 years. Based off of what I've seen, unless you was up under that tent, we wouldn't be able to even clearly see the altercation, like what happened under the tent. I need to get my hands on the transcripts because I need to see and read what the people who testified, what they said. Because there was some that was contradicting. There was like, okay, yeah, he defended himself. Then the prosecution is going to ask, well, who was in the wrong? Karmelo. Where's the objection to that? What this attorney failed him. He needed a badass lawyer in that courtroom. And the individual, the individuals, because they partners, they tag team, they good. He needed them in that courtroom. He needed somebody who was going to fight for him. Because that no way 35 years should have been on the table. That's wild. But let's go over this. So right here it does show that he appealed the case. Okay. The people that I know are working behind the scenes to ensure that this appeal goes the way that it needs to go. But I'm gonna go through the appeal process. This is now, he did mention that he did not have an attorney. I'm gonna tell y'all now, and I don't care what people say. I really don't. I was telling my boyfriend this last night. I was like, I'm gonna go live and I'm gonna say what I gotta say. Criminal attorneys ain't cheap. And just because that family lived in Frisco, that don't mean nothing. Number two, I heard that there was a GoFundMe. And if that is the case, y'all know how long it takes to get proceeds from a GoFundMe if they release it? I'm just saying. So he appealed the case. And he stated he didn't have an attorney, so they did a court-appointed attorney. And this is the law firm that is handling his appeal. So what happens in the appeal, you file a notice of appeal, and it goes to a higher court. In our area, the Fifth Court of Appeals is that this case is going to be transferred. I wish one of the judges that I know, I wish she was still in the court, but she got elected to a district court in Dallas County. So kudos to her. But I am confident that the Fifth Court of Appeals are going to be fair. No matter what the outcome is, guys, we have to understand that it's based off of the facts that have been presented. The whole purpose of an appeal is to see if the trial court did everything, the attorneys did everything, they did their due diligence. But the question is, was the sentence fair? And the court is going to be, the Fifth Court of Appeals is going to be the ones that say, hey, okay, no, they're going to drop it back down to the trial court, and then the process is going to restart. But if they say yes, there's nothing that we can do. So it's going to be a time where we just have to wait. We could do all this stuff. We can raise money. We could go out and protest. But at the end of the day, this case is appealed, and it is up to the Fifth Court of Appeals in Texas to decide whether or not, you know, there was anything done in error. I think that's the simplest term I can say. All right, so let me see. This is just the case event, so I'm just looking. So this was the charge: murder, first degree felony. Good Lord. He entered a non guilty plea. Oh man, this is hard. I need to get my I need to get these case files. Whew, there's a lot of subpoenas. Oh my gosh. Request for disclosures. Da, 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 da. Subpoena, affidavit. It's a lot of subpoenas, but I'm gonna just go to the last page. We'd be here all day. All right, so the notice of appeal was filed on, and so when you do a notice of appeal, that means everything has to go to the Fifth Court of Appeals. So they have to get the transcripts, the court reporter notes, any pleadings that was filed, evidence that was submitted. All of that goes up to the Fifth Court of Appeals for review. And it's crazy because the judge that I said used to be a judge for the Fifth Court of Appeals, she actually had a CLA, like a little training, and she gave us the whole process from state court to the Court of Appeals. And I wish I had my notes. I think, is that it? I think that's it of how it works. Oh, yep, sure did. All right, so for appeals in criminal court, you have 30 days to file or the court loses their jurisdiction. 2 records will be submitted from the lower court. So the clerk's record and the reporter's record will be requested from this court, the district court, and that will be sent over to the Fifth Court of Appeals. Now, I'm going to take you guys over to the Court of Appeals so we can look up the case and see. So once it gets here, which it already has, hold on, let me put the case information and stuff in there. I know y'all probably like, oh, she unorganized, baby. I'm treating this just like work. So the Fifth Court of Appeals served Collin, Dallas, Grayson, Hunt, Kaufman, and Rockwall County. But let me get to, I'm so sorry, y'all. All right, I'm gonna just use this. Oh, trial court case number. All right, come on. All right, so here is the case here. So this is the Court of Appeals website. So now that it has reached the Fifth Court of Appeals, there are going to be deadlines that are set. So let me see. Documents. So the notice of appeal filed on 6/10, notice received on 6/11. Records, like I said, the court, the clerk's record and the reporter's record. And the next thing after that is they will have to submit briefs. So both the state and the defense in the trial court have to submit briefs to the Fifth Appeals Court. And from there, they can request an oral argument, but more than likely it would just, it will go off of their briefs. And the briefs, I mean, it has case law. Um, it will ask. It's a lot. I drafted a brief. I don't like working federal. I don't like doing briefs. That's one thing you can miss me with doing briefs is a lot. It's a lot of work that you have to put into because it's like you're presenting your case all over again, but it's in paper and you have an opportunity for it to be heard before the judge. Now, when it is in appeals court, no new evidence is accepted. You're just focusing on the ruling or the lower court's decision. So I want everybody to understand that because I know everybody talk about get a new trial, blase, blase, blase. Well, why wasn't this an evidence? It's appeal. Can you do it? No, you can't do none of that. No new evidence is submitted or accepted when the Fifth Court of Appeals is doing what they need to do. Okay. The Fifth Court of Appeals job is just to focus on the lower court's decision, stating, did they rule in error? That's the biggest question. Did they rule in error? Was that, just focus on that. Okay. Just focus on that. All right. So that appeals. All right. So let's tap into this evidence, y'all. And then I am going to open up because I know people want to discuss this. But let's go. Now, I am going to, let's do the photos first. We're going to do the photos. And I want to say trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. But I'm going to do the state's photos. So the photos, the videos, the cameras, the body worn cameras, all of that was entered into, those were exhibits for trial. We didn't see it, but they posted it on their website on Juneteenth, which is ironic that you chose Juneteenth to release all of this, but that's neither here nor there. We're going to look at the defense photos. Now, me looking at this, I was very upset because I strongly feel like the defense attorney didn't do what he said he was going to do, in my opinion. So these are the photos that the having to look sideways because I don't know this one. But yeah, so we already talked about Collin County. We talked about the case that happened in Denton County. We talked about how crooked the DA is. But right now, I just want everybody to clear their mind. We're not going to make any make any inferences or draw any conclusions until we review every single piece of evidence that was submitted. So this is the exhibits, once again, that the defense, his attorneys, put out. Somebody, okay, so I believe his girlfriends. That's his girlfriends, but so these is the photos that he used. I don't know exactly where that's at. They always say you got to paint a picture. Look at this. Aww. They all got along. I'm assuming that's his girlfriend's family. That's nice. And you know it's crazy. I have a 18-year-old, so I know like they think they grown, but they're not grown. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Look at this Team Captain Award 2024, Carmelo Anthony. So this is the pictures that the defense sent over. So you know how was his character? This is the picture. He was obviously the his girlfriend's family loved him, adored him. So here I wouldn't say like, hey, he's not a bad kid. He doesn't appear to be bad, but you know we don't know what our kids do on the outside. However, looking at this, honestly, I don't think that her family would even stand for, you know, him dating somebody who is not, you know, it really wouldn't make sense. This does not look like a bad kid. And for anybody who comes and say, well, you know, do you have a 17-year-old? Do you have a kid that just graduated high school? Like, I do. And I watch them. They're still goofy, you know, but they're still sensitive. Um, they don't know, like they don't know how to navigate. You know, as a parent, we teach our kids, you know, when we're not in your presence, you be respectful, you be mannerable, you defend yourself, if need be, so on and so forth. That's what we teach these kids. But in the time something comes up, they don't know what to do. So they're going to react how they react. These are kids. All right, let's go to what the state now. There is a photo in here that we're gonna see. I don't know if my YouTube gonna get shut down for it. That's okay. That's all right. That's all right. All right. This is the state photo. Well, the state evidence. So these are the photos that they submitted as exhibits. So here we have the football field. This is the visitor side. If y'all can see it, yeah. This is the visitor side on the right side, left side, that is the home side. And I believe they were on the home side. I don't know about y'all, but I ran track, okay, in Texas, in this area. I don't care if we was in North Dallas or South Dallas. Like I went to Louisville. That was my high school. Then I ended up going to Newman Smith. Okay. But regardless, if it was raining and we didn't have a tent, we knew other people from other schools. All right, because you got to realize not everybody in your neighborhood may go to the school you go to. They may go to another high school or junior high or middle school or elementary, right? So it was not uncommon for us to go visit other people in other tents. If it was raining, there was two places that we either going to be up under the bleachers or we're going to be in the bleachers up under somebody's tent. Now that was the 90s. So I don't know. I don't know these days. My kids, my oldest played soccer and then the other two, they just didn't want to do nothing. So unfortunately I can't go to nobody's games. But that's what we did. It's not uncommon for you to visit another school's tent and talk to people. So I just want y'all to just make that clear. Put your mind frame back. If you never did sports, you can't relate. But if you did, if you ran track, you know how this goes. It's not a crime to visit somebody else's tent. It's not a crime to go talk to somebody that you know in somebody else's tent. like this is at this point we have to have some type of common sense. Everybody's all in an uproar, talk about what he shouldn't have been up under the tent. It wasn't raining hard enough. Da 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 da. The fact is, it's not a crime to go talk to any people that you know from another school. Okay? All right. Let me do this right now because I'm not gonna be flipping and flopping stuff. Oh my gosh, all of these. Let me see. I'm just gonna flip the pictures around and I hope y'all can hear me. I don't want to be talking and nobody can hear me. That'd be crazy. My cough's getting cold. Flip this one around. All right, that's what we're gonna do. All right. So this is Austin. I'm assuming. I can't tell the twins apart. Walking. All right. So it's just still images of him. I'm assuming going from based off the video, I believe he went from the visitor side all the way over to the home side. All right. This is showing Karmelo there and the coach there. Hopefully you guys can see it. I know that my watermark is on there, but you can see two images that were circled. So Karmelo's in the red, and I believe that is either a student or someone stating, pointing in that direction. And then here's another one showing Karmelo here. And two individuals right there. I'm assuming they're pointing, saying, there he is. So these are just obviously still images from the video. So yes, he's running. And before anybody, just once again, I can't even say it. If you have kids, he was scared. If you have kids, like I know that, not God forbid, I'm knocking on wood, my kids, they're homebodies. But in that in that specific situation, he would have been scared. And of course, he would have ran. What do you do when something bad happens? Like, everybody has a different reaction. Not everybody reacts the same way. But I know, because I have children, I somewhat think I know what they will do if they were in this situation. They are going to run. It doesn't mean that he was running like, oh my God, I gotta go hide. He wasn't running off campus or away from the area. He was just running to get away from the incident. I mean, we can draw a conclusion because obviously he ended up getting arrested. He was compliant. He didn't resist arrest. He stated that he's not the alleged. He did it. And I know people are going to be like, well, how do they know who's who in the video? Trust me, they probably had individuals who came in and say, can you identify these people? All right, so these are all photos. Okay, so this is north. So this is the bleacher. I'm assuming that's the area. Now this is coach. I thought this was a little crazy. Let me see. I'm gonna read this text message. And there's other text messages, not text messages, but emails from cheerleaders who I need to get my hands on that because I want to also read that. We want to understand I don't want to say understand. Everybody paints a picture based off of what they see, what information is put out on the internet, right? For Karmelo, he stabbed a kid. The kid dies. So everybody already has a negative outlook on him. Austin, the one who passed away. So everybody's going to have that view is, oh, and not saying because it was not right, but I'm just talking about how people view them. So here, he didn't deserve. No, he did not deserve to die. He was a baby too. He was 17. Okay, but we can't miss the fact of what his character was prior to that. Like, people were saying that they were bullies. There's an actual email from cheerleaders talking to the football coaches, telling them exactly how they were treated. They were bullied. Like, they were messing with these cheerleaders. And the cheerleaders had enough of that. So we also have to make sure that the character, and what does that have to do with anything? It has a lot to do with it. It has a lot. Now, we don't know what happened under that tent, but we do know if there was any type of confrontation, from what the testimony and stuff was, they were pretty much telling this boy to get up from up under their tent. And if he didn't move, what you was going to do. And he stepped up to him. That's based off of what we've heard, based off the testimonies. All right, so this is the coach, a text message, I'm assuming between the two or the group. Coach, can you tell Austin to put on his black shorts? Can you send this to all of our throwers? I'm assuming they did either shot put, discus, javelin, one of those. You guys keep leaving early, so just know you guys are probably not going to the district meet. You dudes never stay and celebrate your teammates, and you guys don't win. You dudes never, oh, I already said that. So what value are you guys bringing to the team besides coming out and celebrating yourself? Tell them it's from me. And then somebody say, yeah, coach, I'll send it and I'll take their shit up Monday. They be cussing. We'll take Noah and Ramir to district. All right. Warrior throwers. I wonder what they did. This is just I think the response. A little code in here. Same thing. From Coach Bass, y'all turn y'all stuff in on Monday. We are taking Ramir and Noah to district. I wonder if that was a district meet. Now, okay. This is interesting now, because what date was this? Okay, it's neither here nor there. But I wonder if that's a district meet. April 2nd, you and Rhett are on early bus, get tent, and whatever else we need. Set examples of how to conduct yourself today. Be a leader. I need you and Rhett to hold us down. I will be helping with hosting the meet, so I'm going to lean on my older guys. For sure, coach, got you. Okay, so this was Austin. All right, so that was to Austin. Love you, man. Sorry I didn't say enough. All right, so here is the tent. Now, everybody was like, why don't we have video footage from there? First of all, they are at a track meet. I'm pretty sure not even half, probably over half of the kids, if it was raining, what we do, we go up under the bleachers so we don't get wet. We will go in the tent just to ensure we can hear, or we can see what event is coming up next. That's the only reason to come out. But majority of the kids was up under the bleachers. And I know this for a fact because I did track and cross country. So we're not going to have any video recording unless somebody was all out there. Now, for the kids, once again, these are kids. And yes, we know that kids be on their phone 24/7, but you have to think of the situation. If there was any type of confirmation and then that incident occurred, All of these kids is going to be scared. The only thing that they're going to think to do is call 911. That's about it. They're not going to record anything. They're going to be trying to run to go get help or whatever the case may be. We got to think that these were kids. There's the ambulance. That's from the backside. Here's the tool or the knife. Now, everybody was saying that it was a track tool. Me personally, I never seen it. I wore spikes, but I've never seen this. Now, this weapon is similar to my fishing weapon. Now, they were at a track meet. You know, it's not a crime to carry a pocket knife. I just want everybody to know that as well. Why he had it in his bag, we will never know. But I know people that carry around for protection. Okay. There's another up close. Yep, that just like my fishing knife. In fact, I got the exact same one, but my color is blue. My color is blue. And it's like you gotta push it and then open it. Oh man. Oh, this was the visitor side. Okay, so this is the visitor side. Good Lord. That's the backpack. Assuming the sweater, shoe. And I'm going over everything so nobody can say that, we don't see everything. This is all the evidence. Once again, the weapon. About 3.5 inches. If y'all can see that on the ruler, 3.5 inches. That's the inch, the half mark right there. It's a tragedy. I'm not going to sit up here and say that it isn't. Oh, that's a Liberty jacket. Lord. I don't know whose backpack this is, but it's typical stuff that you take, especially if you left school early. It's got your snacks. I don't know who backpack that was. HEB, cross, mask. Oh, this must have been Carmelo's. Because I remember that sweatshirt. Essentials. Fear of God. Hmm. Yep, that was his. Who, Lord. Had blood on his finger. All right, this is the image. I'm going to scroll past it real fast because I don't know how YouTube is going to react to this, but that's the wound right there. We're going to pass on by. Up on 10. All right, so this is where. What? No. I don't know why they keep showing this part. All right, so here, this is the medical examiner. This is exactly where he was stabbed. Okay, that's like 2-inch length gaping, a sharp margin. I can't read that right there, but it's 2 inches. Depth 2.5. And mind you, the knife was 3.5. Well, that's how 3.5 long, so that makes the blade. Yeah. So that's what the state submitted. All right, so we've reviewed defense, exhibits or photos, I want to say. So now let's go ahead and listen to the 911 call. And that's what I'm saying, y'all. We're going to look at every shred, every piece of evidence that was submitted. Audio. Okay, let me just make sure, because I want to make sure that you guys are able to hear. So I'm going to reshare my screen, make sure the volume, entire screen. Nope, I didn't even have the volume on. Okay. So the first one is the 911 call. So listen. Bring that over here.
Fresco 911, what is the location of the emergency?
Hi, we're at Talking Dog Stadium. My friend just got stabbed.
Okay, do you know who stabbed him?
We have no clue. He was sitting in our tent, but you need to send an ambulance right now.
They're on the way, okay? Give me a description of the person that stabbed him.
He was wearing a gray Essentials hoodie. He was black. He's standing out on the side right now.
He's standing on the track?
Yes.
Okay.
His blue sweatpants on and gone.
Okay, what did he stab your friend with?
I don't know. My friend's bleeding everywhere.
Okay. Okay. Where was he stabbed at?
The chest.
Okay.
She's typing
Do you still see the person that stabbed him, or did he leave?
When it was Austin. Austin got stabbed in the chest. I'm sorry, what did you say?
The person that stabbed him, is he still there? Do you still see him?
There's adults on him, I think. Yeah.
There's adults that are trying to keep him there?
Sorry, what?
The person that stabbed your friend, is he still there?
Yeah, he's still here.
Okay, and there's a coach with him?
Yes, he's with people got him.
Okay. Do you know if he still has the weapon on him?
No clue, but he's like he can't do nothing. He's done.
What do you mean?
He stabbed Austin Metcalf in the chest. What?
What do you mean he can't do anything? What's going on with him?
Coaches have him, he can't hurt anyone.
Okay, when you say they have him, are they physically holding him down?
No, they're just holding him walking around.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. What's your name?
Nathan Nordyke.
What's your last name? Nathan.
Yes, ma'am.
What's your last name?
Nordyke.
Okay. And do you see any of the responders there yet?
We hear the sirens, but
the
coach has sent us out. We're all walking to our buses.
Okay. So you're going to get on a bus right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the rest of the students are walking towards the buses?
Yeah, everyone's been evacuated out the stadium.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being quick.
Okay. Just follow whatever directions you're being provided by either the officers or by your coaches, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect if you need to, but we've got all kinds of help headed that way.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So that's the first 911 call. Let's go ahead. Here is the second. So Nor, I believe that's who we saw in the text message. So this is going to be the second 911 call. I think it's very, very short.
10:02 a.m. 19 seconds, April 2, 2025.
First 911, what's the location of the emergency?
I need paramedics at Kirkendall Stadium right away.
Okay, what's going on?
I have an athlete that was stabbed.
He was stabbed?
Yes.
Okay,
It is
where's the
yes.
person who stabbed him?
I don't know.
Okay, where in the stadium is he?
We are on the visitor side bleachers. We have Army veteran that's trying to keep compression on the wound.
Okay. Are you with him now?
He is laying here. He
How old
is
is he?
starting to go unconscious.
How old is he?
High school age, so maybe 15, 16, 17.
Okay. Is he awake?
No, he's going unconscious.
Okay. Is he breathing?
Not right now.
Breathing.
No, he's not.
He's not breathing at all?
No.
Okay. Where was he stabbed at?
In his chest.
Okay. I've got them coming, okay? Stay on the phone with me, all right?
Okay.
Is the assailant still nearby?
Okay. I'm here.
Is the assailant still nearby? Hey,
Is he
sir,
breathing? Yes, ma'am.
is the
Sorry.
assailant still nearby?
Is what nearby?
The assailant, the person who stabbed him.
We have no idea.
Okay.
Everybody took off sprinting afterwards.
Okay, is there any
there was some
serious
students around
bleeding?
that probably would know.
Okay,
Yes. I mean, there's a lot of blood. He's not
Okay.
breathing.
okay. Did anyone see what he looked like at all?
The assailant, I'm sure that some students know, but everybody has been
Okay.
removed from the scene.
Okay. All right, just stand up with me, okay? Because you're right there with him. I'm sending paramedics to help you now. Stanley knows exactly what to do next. Is the knife still inside of his chest?
No.
Okay. All right. I'm keeping you on the phone, okay? Like I said, I'm going to tell you to stop the bleeding. Listen carefully to make sure we do it right, okay?
Okay.
Get a clean, dry cloth or towel and tell me when you have it.
Hey, we need a clean, dry cloth or towel. I'm getting. We need a dry cloth or towel. We have an AED here.
Okay, we want to get this bleeding stopped if we can. Is he breathing at all right
We need
now?
the bleeding stopped. Dry cloth or towel. I'm on the phone.
Okay. Is he breathing?
He is not.
Okay, listen carefully. Lay him flat on his back on the floor or ground and remove anything under his head.
Everything where?
So flat on his back,
Oh,
nothing under his
he's
head.
breathing right now.
He's
This
breathing?
time he's breathing.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, do you have a
We
towel
got an
for
AED
it?
connected. I'm sorry?
Do you have something that we can use to control the bleeding?
Yes, we have like sweatpants. They
Okay,
have
that's
compressing on
perfect.
the chest.
Place it right on the wound and press down firmly. Do not restrict the
Press
blood.
down firm.
It's going to hurt, but
Keep
you got
pressing
to
down.
push, okay?
Oh, yes,
Keep
they
that
just removed
pressure
for. Okay.
And don't take it off, okay?
Okay, he only took it off because it just advised the shock, so we did a shock to his chest.
Okay.
He's trying.
Are there any officers there with you yet?
I think they have the assailant, but the coach is pinning him down.
Okay, where are they at?
They are really close to where the victim is. They're like 5 yards away on the track. There's some police here.
Okay, we'll have them down, please, and show them where the assailant is, okay? What's your name?
Hey, that police officer needs to come down here.
What's your name?
Robert there.
Okay, let me know when the officer's with you. I'm not hanging up until he's with you, okay?
Okay.
What is the person that you think is the assailant? What do they look like?
Hey. Hey, was that the kid that, hey, that wasn't somebody else?
That wasn't him?
Centennial kid? No, it was a kid from another school. They know the kid.
Okay, so he's not the one who stabbed though?
No, the other kid I think was just freaking out, and they were just trying to contain him.
Okay.
Give me a breath, officer. Give me a breath, officer. Give me a breath, officer. You're good.
Let me know when they're with you, okay? Like I said, I'm not going to do this until they're with you. Let me know if you stop the breathing, okay?
Okay. Come on, officer. Come on, officer. Come on, baby. Come on. You got this. Come on.
Okay, we got the suspect, okay? So you guys just focus on him, okay?
Okay, thank you. Come on.
I'm going to keep you with me, okay, until they're with you. Is he breathing still?
He's trying, yeah. We're doing compressions and giving him mouth to mouth.
Okay. Hey, they're doing CPR on him. Okay, just keep going, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
The medics are coming as fast as they can. Just keep me updated, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Fight through, baby. Fight through, officer. Come on. Oh, you're doing good, officer.
Alright,
You're doing
okay,
good.
CPR.
Hands up.
Yes, their hands off, advising a shock.
Okay. Do they still have that, the sweatpants over the stab wound too to keep it from bleeding?
They have some dry cloth over it right now, and they're putting this sweat on top during the compressions.
Perfect.
Come on.
Did it shock him again or no?
Yes, it didn't advise.
Come on.
Alright, tell them to do really good, okay? Just keep going for me. If they need to switch out, like I said, make sure they do, okay? If they get tired, we're going to
They are, yes,
okay?
they have.
Perfect.
Yes. EMS has just arrived. They're walking on the scene.
Okay, let me know when they're with you, okay?
Okay. They're walking over here right now.
Come on, officer. Push through.
You did really
Is EMS
good.
here? Yes, you're walking up. Come on.
I'm sorry, what was that?
You did really good.
Push through.
Thanks.
Are they with you?
It was,
Come on.
they're about 15 yards away. They're walking.
Come on, bro.
Okay, they're walking up to us right now.
Okay, I'll let you go. Good job, Robert.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
I'm not gonna lie, that is gut wrenching to hear. But my goal today is to show you guys all of the evidence so that way you all can draw your own conclusions instead of basing it off of a lot of misinformation that y'all see or negative opinions. Okay. So we went through the photos, we went through the 911 calls. Now let's go through the videos. So I'm going to show you guys a lot of these. I'm probably not going to show in this entirety only because it's showing the actual stadium. So they were on the visitor side. Ooh, I'll pause this. Let me take this QR code off. All right, so you guys can see. So here, if y'all see my mouse, this is the, baby, I wish I can zoom in. I can't. And this is 14 minutes long. So I'm going to, oh, wait, did I do that? Okay, I paused it. Okay. This is 15 minutes long. All right. So if you have your water, your coffee, or whatever, now is the time. Pay attention. Once again, I'm going to show the videos from start to finish. So that way nobody can say these people aren't playing the whole video, but just kind of keep a clear mind. Look at the evidence, take your notes, whatever the case may be. If y'all need something, definitely tap it in the chat if y'all can't hear, but there's no sound to this, is mainly just the visual. So the tent is in the left-hand corner of the screen, and then you can see, I don't know where everything is. That's the high jump area right there. I don't know what the disc is, but you can see kids going from here to over there. Okay. So just be mindful of the things, everything that's going on with the tent. If you want to just keep your eyes on the tent, hey, that's fine. But let's take a look at this. And you can see them walking, I believe, right there. So it was raining. Like I said, them kids don't like to get wet. Okay, so they're going to be up under the tent or up under the bleachers. All right, so that's the visitor side. If y'all hear my teenager, I'm so sorry. He's on the game. All right, so now we can see. So pay attention to the tent. I'm not going to speed it up or anything because I want everybody to get the full picture. So keep your eyes on what's going on in the tent. So y'all see this? People out there with umbrellas, ponchos. Keep your eyes on the tent. All right, so you do see that there's a little bit of movement over here. We can see movement, but we can't see exactly what's going on. All right, so y'all seen that? All we see is figures moving around up under the tent. That's all I can see. I see this individual who has I guess, a white shirt on. Not sure. Yeah, you can't really tell if they're standing up or if they're sitting down. And that's the thing. Like, how can you confirm? I mean, you can through witnesses that were there, but from looking at this, you can't tell if a person is standing up or sitting down. Now, I seen this individual get up, but I don't know if he moved to the other side to sit down. I don't know if they're standing up. It's not clear. It's not clear at all. Like maybe I'm missing something. Once again, we see movement, but from our point of view, we can't tell who is who. The only people that can identify who was up under the tent is the witnesses or the other individuals that were up under the tent. Like I said, you can't tell who's standing up. You can't tell who's sitting down. Now, I'm assuming they probably are sitting down. But once again, you see this individual get from up under the tent. And like I said before, it is not a crime to go up under somebody's tent. That's what we did. If we knew somebody from another school, like Liberty was on the other side of that tent. So who's, you know what I'm saying? So it's not a crime to go visit or sit up under somebody's tent. I just want everybody to be aware. If you know Texas tracked me, I don't know how any other people do it, but when I was at Louisville and Newman Smith, and we went to Frisco, or we went to Little M, or we went to South Dallas or Lancaster or wherever, and it's raining, and I know somebody, we either going to be up under the bleachers or we're going to be in the tent. All right. So we have, once again, we're at the 6-minute mark. And I'm going to keep reiterating. We just see movement. We see people moving. We don't see the incident itself. We saw this. Who is this? That individual that was in a yellow poncho. All right. People walking. Yep, I'm playing the full video, so nobody can say that the full video wasn't played. The incident itself, we can't see that from here. The only thing they had to rely on is the individuals that were up under that tent. All right, so we see movement. All right, so this is this person in a white shirt. The dude that was in the yellow poncho. Now I can't tell. You see back here, we can see two individuals. Once again, we don't know if they're standing up or sitting down. Okay, now this person is moving. You see some commotion. You see him right here, and he goes. I'm going to, let's back it up. I'm going to do 10 seconds. All right, so pay attention right here. These figures. So you see this person go here. You can kind of see a little scuffle. Then you see him run. I'm going to do it one more time. I'll go back 20 seconds. So we have an individual here, individual there, individual right here. All right, you see a little scuffle, then you see him run up here. That's Karmelo, and then we see him running. Everybody else, they skedaddle. Then this individual, I'm assuming he was going to go chase after him, and we see Karmelo running. And then he stopped. And then he walked back. And then he jogged. I'm sitting here narrating. Y'all can clearly see this. A 17-year-old that just did this. None of us can say how he was feeling. I don't know. I could say he was scared. I don't know. None of us was there. Okay, that's one thing. None of us can tell anybody how he felt. All right. Hey girl. Happy Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth. All right, Mr. Let me pause this. All right, lady, please, you don't mention the fact that once he sat down under the tent, which was not his team tent, he was asked to leave half dozen times. You don't mention the fact the reason why he was asked to leave is because he was not supposed to be there. Mr. Woodrow Finney Jr. First and foremost, um, they're kids. I'm going to say that right now. They are kids. Um, I don't know if you ever been to a track meet. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if you didn't see the beginning of my live, I'm going to say this. It's not a crime to be up under somebody's tent, okay? If he was asked to leave, okay, I get it. All right? If he was asked a half dozen times, I get it. However, you don't put your hands on, we don't know what happened under that tent. But because he did not leave, that does not call for somebody to put their hands on you. That's like if my child went up under their tent and he was asked to leave and he didn't leave, that does not mean anybody can put their hands on my child. That's number one. Number two, if he refused to leave, that's why we have coaches there. Hey, coach, we have somebody up under our tent that doesn't want to leave. I asked them to leave. They didn't leave. So think about that right there. I want you to understand what you just said. They are kids. I'm not, but what? My 18-year-old don't listen to my 20-year-old. My 13-year-old don't, but they're not bad kids. But it's not a crime. Look at the facts. He was asked to leave. He didn't leave. Things got physical. From what was said, he put his hands on him. So if I am asked to leave somewhere and I say, or I just sit there and somebody comes over to me and push me and I said, get out of here. Now I have the right to defend myself based off of what we've seen. So he was asked to leave. He didn't leave. Because he did not leave, did not warrant another 17-year-old to try to defend that area. You are still a kid. You go tell somebody. That's what we teach our kids. You don't put your hand. You're not authority. I was varsity all 4 years of high school. That does not mean I was the boss of everybody. Okay. I had no authority to kick nobody up out of my tent. I had no authority to tell somebody to go get on the bus. I had no authority to do that. So we got to be mindful of the things that we are saying. So yes, he sat down at the tent that was not his. He obviously was talking to somebody up under the tent. But that does not warrant for somebody to put their hands on you because you weren't compliant. I'm going to finish playing this video. So he ran. Now he's back on the track. I was like, y'all act like it's a crime to be up under somebody else's tent. If I know somebody, like I said, we was in the bleachers, under the bleachers, having dance contests and everything. It's not a crime to be at somebody else's tent. What is not right is you putting your hands on somebody to make them leave. You're not authority. You're not a supervisor. You're not coach. You're just somebody that the coach felt that, okay, y'all can go set up the tent, keep everything cool up under the tent. That's it. If before it escalated, Austin could have simply say, hey, coach, can you please ask him to get from up under our tent? As simple as that. Once again, I am not saying what happened was wrong. Like he stabbed somebody, the kid died. There are consequences. The issue is the unfairness of that sentence. One, little M, 4 years for shooting and killing an individual. Denton County. Neighboring county, 35 years for a stab. Yeah, I'm playing the full video once again, so nobody has any. Can't nobody say the full video is not being played. The reason why we don't have clear footage, these are the cameras posted at the stadium. Okay, unless somebody had cell phone footage, we would see that, but we don't have that because these kids are at a track meet and it is raining. So as you can see here, he didn't run. He didn't do anything. He didn't try to hide. He didn't do anything. We have to take in the facts based off of what we see. Tangible evidence, not based off of theories, not based off of your negative feelings or opinions. Yes, he ran from up under the tent. I can conclude, well, not conclude, I can infer that he was scared. Honestly, and he didn't know what to do. We got about 2 minutes left on this. Oh yeah, baby, there's more. There's more footage, so we will be watching. So everybody has everything. Leslie, please don't start. Baby, they is running to the buses because you don't know, they're kids. They are scared. So now word has gotten out that somebody has been stabbed. So what are these kids going to do? They're going to run for safety. Like I'm looking at all these kids. They are running to the bus, baby. Cash and Leslie, please don't start. I don't know why I have 3 dogs. All right, so y'all, you seen it for yourself. We can't truly see exactly what happened under the tent. All we saw was there was figures moving. We possibly seen an arm extended. That's about it. Then we seen Karmelo shoot out from up under the tent, and he ran. He ran over. I'm doing that like y'all can see me. He ran onto the field. Well, he ran to the outside and then he ended up on the field. He didn't run anywhere else. He looks very compliant to me, and I believe that's the police officers. Okay. Yeah, people. And mind you, this was, I don't know what time this was. But if it was during school hours, I'm pretty sure that the school was on lockdown too. But yeah, so track me over. That's it. All right. So, whew, looks like we're gonna be here. All right, going to two, and this is the entry. Okay, so let me pause this. Well, you definitely don't make any sense according to Texas law, which the jury based their information and evidence on. Being pushed does not mean you can pull out a knife and stab somebody in the chest and claim self-defense. But since you have two teenagers have been a black on black crime, Carmelo stabbed one of your kids in the chest, you hear them for the death penalty for him right there on your podcast advocating for death penalty for him, self-defense, would you have been the last thing you would want to hear about? All right, so first of all, I'm not in this situation, okay? Second of all, as I stated before, Austin did not deserve to die, okay? Nobody is sitting here stating that Karmelo was innocent. Obviously, no. Okay, I want that to make that very, very clear. And yes, a preponderance of evidence based off of what we see. No, Carmelo was not right for grabbing a weapon and stabbing Austin, which resulted in Austin dying. What I am saying is it's not a process, a cause and effect. Let's say that it's a cause and effect. Because you put your hands on somebody, you do have the right to defend yourself. Was Carmelo right for taking out a knife and stabbing him? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'm compassionate. Yes, if something was to happen to one of my children, I will be devastated. I surely will. Death penalty, I don't advocate for that for nobody. Only for pedophiles. That's the only people that I feel needs to have the death penalty is pedophiles. People who mess with kids need to have the death penalty. That's what that is. Okay. What I am saying at the end of the day is there was a cause and there was an effect. Was Carmelo right for doing what he did, for pulling at that knife? No, he was not. He absolutely was not. Was the sentencing of 35 years harsh? Yes, it was. If you've seen at the beginning of my video, Alec Adamson came from Prosper to Little Elm to do a drug deal. He thought he was getting robbed. He took out a gun. He shot a 19-year-old. The jury dropped it down to aggravated assault, and he only got 4 years. That's Denton County. We have this neighboring county where an individual pulled out a knife, stabbed somebody, resulted in death, and he got 35 years. Now, I know that it is different counties, but as I stated before, Collin County is a very conservative county. And I feel that his sentencing was unfair. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. As far as me being compassionate, if it was one of my kids, yes, I would be compassionate. So no, I won't waive or advocate for no death penalty. Period. So let's go on with the video. Now this is the 15-minute video. I miss the track days. I wish my kids ran track or did something. You see all of these kids, all from different schools, under this tent. It's not a crime. And like I said, I agree with you. Being pushed does not warrant for anybody to pull a knife and stab. Use those hands. That's what you do. You fight back. But we don't know the reason why he had a knife in his bag. We don't know the reason why he pulled the knife out. Was he wrong? Yes, he was wrong. Period. I'm not going to sit up here and say he wasn't wrong. He was wrong. He should have just fought. If that was the case, somebody pushed you, like I tell my kids, you push them back. You defend yourself. Now, by him pulling out that knife, he was not in the right for doing that, because look what happened. So before y'all go and try to come for me in the comments, ain't nobody said that because he was pushed, that warrant for him to be unalived. That absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you are being pushed, like I tell my kids, you defend yourself. You don't pull out no weapons or anything of that nature. And that's how I feel. I don't know how y'all raise y'all kids. Luckily, mine have never, ever done anything to where I had to go to the courthouse. This is a very, very unfortunate situation that has happened that resulted in the unaliving of somebody. But no, it's never okay to pull out a weapon. But at the end of the day, we still don't know exactly as to why he had a knife. Like, did he feel unprotected? Why you didn't push him back? We don't know any of that. Okay, so that is the visitor side. So this is the interest of everybody. I don't know why they have that tent right there. I don't know if they can walk through, or does people just up under the tent. And if you are just now coming on, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Legal Dot Talk. I'm playing all of the videos so everybody can see the videos from themselves. And what I want everybody to do, like I stated before, is just clear your mind and just watch the videos and make, draw your conclusions or make your inferences based off of what you see. For me, all I saw was a little commotion up under the tent and Karmelo running. Same thing that I saw, same thing that you guys saw, same thing that the jury saw. We don't know actually what happened unless a witness that was up under the tent says exactly what happened. Because all we see is that. Can't nobody say, okay, he took it out this color. If none of the evidence or anything was posted, we can't say, okay, we seen him take it out of his backpack. We can clearly see Austin pushing Karmelo. The only thing we see is movement up under the tent, Karmelo exiting the tent, and him running. That's all we see. So a lot of the evidence or the pieces of the puzzle comes from the individuals that were up under the tent. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, so they had a tent, and these kids were just standing up under the tent, blocking people from walking. That's crazy. And I used to teach high school. If y'all didn't know, I'm a paralegal and a teacher. YouTube is just it's just a hobby for me. But stuff like this needs to be light needs to be shed on it. Plano is in Collin County. Yeah. And so, and I know somebody messaged me yesterday, and I don't think they knew that I lived over here. So the stadium is in Frisco, but it's really crazy because like you can be in one part and be in another part. So all of Plano, if I'm not mistaken, is Collin County. Part of Frisco is Collin County. Part of Richardson, where I am, is Collin County, and Denton, Dallas County. I'm sorry. Part of Frisco is Collin County. Part of it is Denton County. I used to live in Little Elm, but I was on the border. I was in Denton County. The street over, that would be considered a little further east would be considered Collin County, if I'm not mistaken. But the stadium was in Collin County. So the question that I got last night is, why did they change counties without doing the change of venue? And I was like, no, the incident took place in Collin County. When we file petitions in court, it's based off of a number of things, but the main reason why we file in a particular county is if the incident took place in that county. The second reason would be if the defendant lives in that county. So I hope that makes sense. So that's why it was in Collin County, because the incident took place. This stadium, the school, is in Collin County. Yep, see, people, that's what I'm saying. That's why I moved out of Collin County, baby. Okay, so we can see, is that him right there? Yep, that was him. He was walking down, and I missed that. And then he goes onto the field. I think that's him right there. Right here. Is that him? I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Oh yeah, that is him right there. If y'all can see. Because I saw him run down here. Now y'all see everybody is running. Everybody is running. These are a whole bunch of 15, 16, 17-year-olds at a track meet. You see how they're running? Because they're scared. It's crazy. I'm telling you. Back in the 90s, baby, I graduated high school 2000. We had dance battles up under the bleachers. Not gonna say fights didn't break out, because there was a couple of fights, if we go to South Dallas or something like that. But yeah, it's not really much on here other than us seeing Karmelo run down the ramp, going onto the field. But I'm just gonna play it just to ease everybody's mind. Yeah, I hope I answered your question, Purple Doll. Plano is in, I think all of Plano is Collin County. Now, Plano, these, from 1992 to now, these cities have grown. So, but I think all of Plano is in Collin County. Let me see. Counties in Plano. I said counties in Plano. Okay, so I'll take. So part of Plano is Denton County as well, but this incident took place in Frisco on the Collin County side. So everybody's leaving. Now, as y'all can see, these kids are scared. Sorry, my kids are gamers. So if y'all hear them screaming, that's why. No, and I'm going to keep saying this. No, you don't put your hands on nobody, but it's not okay to pull out a weapon and use it. Just to be clear, because I know y'all commenting, you don't put your hands on nobody, but if they do, that does not warrant for you to pull out a weapon. I've always been like that. I've always been like that. You can ask all three of my boys. I think that's just unfair. The issue is the sentencing. The issue is not the incident itself. 35 years versus 4 years, and the charge was dropped down to aggravated assault, and he was only charged or sentenced to 4 years in the neighboring county. Denton County jury reduced the crime to an aggravated assault, and they sentenced him to 4 years for pow-powing and unaliving an individual. Collin County, stab, charged with murder, convicted, sentenced to 35 years. The mother in the Denton County case was compassionate, and she forgave him. Collin County, we saw the total opposite. At a point, we have to be for real about the situation. Once again, nobody is saying that what Karmelo did was right. The uproar is about the sentencing. Why 35 years when somebody had the charge reduced and only got 4 years? That's the question. Now I know once again it's different counties. Denton County is a little bit more non-conservative than Collin County. But I talked about the DA. I talked about the things that are happening in Collin County with not just brown people or black people, but also with brown people. It's a whole community that they're trying to shut down, or not even shut down, that they are sitting here antagonizing on a daily basis, where you have Elon Musk creating a whole freaking community in South Texas. What's the difference between the two? Oh, it's because they're Muslim, they can't build a little community. Hey, thank you for coming on. Yeah, one thing I'm going to do, and I know this from, and here's, do you see Karmelo? He's right there. They taking him on. Okay. And Mr. Rudra, and I understand. Yes, I understand how the law works. The question is, why sentence him to 35 years? That's the question. That is my main question. Why did he get 35 years when an individual in another county that pow-powed somebody because he thought the drug, he was going to get robbed. It was really a drug deal. He thought he was going to get robbed, and he shot and unalived a 19-year-old, and he got his charge reduced to an aggravated assault and sentenced to 4 years. I don't know if y'all, I think y'all was here. I think y'all was here when I pulled up that article. If you wasn't, let me refresh. We're gonna go on to the other videos, but I want to we got to bring this up again. Now I keep saying different counties. What was I going? What's that boy's name? His name is Adam. No, Alec. Alec Adamson in Little M. This happened in the neighborhood where I got my house, and I am shocked because you don't think these things happen, in this area. And that's why I've always lived in like these areas, because I felt that they're safe. But living in Little M, living in Prosper, I just felt out of place, and I didn't want that for my children. Because what happens gets stereotyped, discriminated upon, and you don't know unless you actually live. I'm not saying that nobody has a right to their, everybody's entitled to their opinion. My concern is I lived in Collin County. I did not like the way Collin County was moving. I didn't like the way Collin County was moving. So I took me and my kids and I, and we moved to Dallas County. And I've never looked back since. Denton County was okay. Collin County, I didn't like how. At a very young age, my kids did experience racism and Prosper. I wanted my kids to go to schools where it was diverse, and they are flourishing. Oh my gosh! If you don't know who Alec Adamson is, that is the individual that I stated. Oh wait, yeah, part of Little M isn't for. Wait, well, it's on the border. Anywho's, that's neither here nor there. This is the individual who killed 19-year-old David Pleasant. This individual was sentenced to only 4 years because they dropped his charge down to an aggravated assault. 4 years, aggravated assault. He pow-powed and unalived David Pleasant in Little M, Denton County. It's right here, y'all. It's right here for you to read. I know it's different counties, but how can one county be harsher than another? We got to look at the elected officials. I know some of the elected officials in Lorem because I used to, like, some of them go to my church. Some of them I know personally. As for Collin County don't look like Denton County. I'm gonna just be honest with you. Denton County, yes, is still conservative, but it's less conservative than Collin County. 4 years, aggravated assault. David Pleasant's mother, the victim, forgave this young man. Okay? She forgave this young man. As a parent, I don't know. I can't say how I will feel. But can't nobody tell me that I will wish death penalty on anybody. I don't believe in the death penalty. I only believe, well, I'll take that back. Pedophiles should get the death penalty. Other than that, I think based off of what we have seen so far, it is very hard to tell exactly what happened up under that tent. Based off of hearsay, if it was the fact that Karmelo was pushed, no, he did not have a right to pull out a weapon and use it. I want to be very clear. He did not have a right to do that. You use your hands. My children know that. And thank the Lord, probably one incident with my oldest, but that's because he was getting bullied. And I said, we're not going to do all that extra stuff. We know you stand up for yourself. And he did, using these hands. So in no way, shape, form, or fashion, and I don't want nobody to clip this and say, da 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 da. No, Karmelo was wrong in that. Nobody is saying that he was right in that situation. At least I am not saying that. He should not have taken that young man's life. But I don't think he stabbed him with the anticipation of unaliving him. The sentence was too harsh. 35 years. And I work in this field. I have seen cases in Collin County that I have seen Black and brown people get way harsher sentence than the other counterparts. Yes, and it was. Yes, ma'am, it was. I think his sentencing was based on and that's the only thing that they have, because watching these videos, guys, you can't see what's happening under the tent. The only thing that they can actually base everything on is the people who were up under the tent. I'm going to get my hands. I want those court transcripts because I want to see exactly. But first of all, I'm going to talk to the attorney. I want to see if he can come, because I want to know exactly what was said. Based off of what I seen posted from people that actually went to watch the trial personally, people stated that the prosecution were asking questions and the witnesses was pretty much saying everything that happened. Austin pushed him, he was defending himself. But then the very last question, well, who was in the right? Who was in the wrong? Karmelo. That's what they ended with. All right. We are going to go to the officer's body cam. Now, here's another thing that has been bugging me out. I don't know, and everybody is quick to, I'm not knocking no. Hold on. Okay, I'm not knocking nobody research, but what I'm not going to do, I rely on my stuff on research with reputable websites. Like, I'm a paralegal, so I have access to certain things that I can see. So I allow it, my research to come from reputable websites. I'm not going to put out any misinformation. A lot of stuff is based off of my experience. Can't nobody tell me my experience as a paralegal, because I'm the one who does it. An attorney is the one who reviews it. Okay. I work with a lot of attorneys across the state of Texas. That's for one. I work for myself. I don't work for nobody. I contract myself and I offer services to attorneys. With that being said, part of my job is to request records. As everybody has pointed out, if you look at the bottom of the screen, it does say 2/10/2016. All right. So there's a lot of commotion about the validity of this video. I'm telling you guys right now, if there was an issue with the validity of this video, they would have hired a video forensic specialists to analyze this. This is a body-worn camera. Y'all, my printer over here, the date says January 1st, 1900. I kid you not, and I refuse to change it. Now, by Texas law, I have not researched that, so I'm not going to sit up here and say, okay, by Texas law, da 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 da. I know that when sometimes I get body-worn cameras, the date be off. That does not deter from the validity of the video. So y'all have to realize this video was submitted to evidence. If the state or if the defense was questioning the validity of this, because y'all have to understand how this works. The state has to create an exhibit list. The defense has to create an exhibit list. I don't care if you criminal law, personal injury, whatever the case may be, the process is the same. Those exhibit lists has to be exchanged. Now, prior to all of this evidence, they have already had this evidence prior to there even being a trial. I don't know if some of y'all ever been locked up or been in a car wreck or whatever the case may be. There's a part that's called discovery. So if the defense got this video and they say, hey, there's something going on, like I see the date here is off, I'm questioning the validity of this video. At that time, they would have gotten a video forensic specialist to see if there was any tweaks, like that's really a job. Shut up, Rocco. Rocco, don't start. My boyfriend just comes home with another dog. If he come home with another dog, I'm gonna lose my mind. But what was I saying? But yeah, so if the defense at any time felt that there was something going on with the validity of this video, they would have hired a forensic specialist to look at this. All right? Bingo. Everybody capiche? Everybody understand this? Rocco, stop. So the date, yes, the date is off. I have requested body-worn camera personally only to find the date off. But that does not mean that the validity of what I am seeing is invalid. Like I can take a body-worn camera like this one, and I can go to another officer's body-worn camera, and I could see the officer that from his point of view, I could see that. So I know that my dog's going crazy. I know that the video is okay. But people, just please understand that the defense already had this video, and if something was wrong with the video, it would not have been entered into evidence. Number one. Number two, if something was wrong with it, they would have hired a video forensic specialist. All right? So all the conspiracies and stuff like that, please stop that. We're making it bigger than what it should be with this date. All right? So don't come posting no Google law search that you just did. Just know from my experience, I have personally requested and have reviewed body-worn cameras where the date was off. All right, boy, my dogs is going crazy. So I'm going to now show you guys the actual footage from the arrest. This is 4 minutes long. So once again, if you got comments, I'm gonna have Q&A after all of this, but let's watch this.
If somebody is shooting the victim, they need to be over there.
Under a memorial pen.
Don't reach for anything, all right, man? Stop right there for me. Dispatch 443. I got the suspects, and they're currently treating the victim. Again, he's on the north end of the stadium. All right. Any weapons on you like that? I'll look here.
How long? He put his hands up. I know I'm not.
4-4, copy, I'll be in route.
Help me, y'all back up a little bit. Come over here for me. Come over here.
447, clear.
I'm gonna put your handcuffs for now, okay? Dispatch 443. Everybody can slow down. I got the alleged suspect in handcuffs right now, detained.
Everyone else can slow down. Suspect detained in handcuffs.
Hold on. You can open up the channel, and medics are clear to come in. Have them come to the northeast entrance. That's going to be a gate that's wide open there, and then you come to the victim from there.
Received.
This is the alleged suspect. All right, bye. Okay. Look at that. So nothing on your person at all? Nothing?
He was
Like,
compliant.
pockets, stuff and all that. Nothing stamina? Okay. A little personal there, okay? Just to make sure. Okay. All right. The victim's going to be underneath that tent over there, so okay. Medics. Memorial tent over there, guys. All right.
He put his hands on me. I told him not to. He put his hands on me.
What's the matter right now? Victim, we're in the north end. They got staff standing to him right now. This is the alleged suspect. All right. Already? No. We searched them. Got nothing.
I believe that's CPR office for a witness. Raising. Sheila, call in. Raising.
Up to you. It's up to you. Let me do one more little check of you, okay? You don't require her reaching your pockets, anything like that. You good?
I'm wearing some little underpants. No, man, I don't think so.
What's your name, man?
Karmelo Anthony, K-A-R-M-E-L.
Okay.
Raising.
Have a seat here real quick, man. Watch your head. Let me check your hood here, buddy. Okay? I'll tell you what, lean this way so you're not resting on your hands, okay? All right, see a little bit of blood on your hands there, okay? All right.
402, I won't see.
So your first name is Karmelo?
Raising.
Let's see, hold on one second. I don't know yet, man. Karmelo, C-A-R-A. K-A-R-M-E-L-O. Karmelo, what's your last name? A-N-T-H. Oh, who grade are you in? 10th grade? You go to Emerson? Where do you go? Centennial. Okay.
I'm in 12th grade.
12th grade? Okay, that's Centennial. All right, sit tight for me real quick, bud, all right? Let me run this guy real quick. I haven't talked to him at all.
All right, so that is the body worn camera from that officer. Now we're gonna go to this officer, cop, guys, and you can clearly see the other officer in that video. So I'm not gonna sit up here and be like, "Oh my God, the date is off." The validity of that video is. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. Y'all can clearly see her. Let me pause this. Can y'all even see this? At the bottom, it says April 2nd, 2025. We clearly saw. I'm gonna run this back because this is about a 60-second video. Do y'all see this? This is the officer whose body worn cam clearly stated 2/16/2016 or something like that date. I'm not going to question the validity of that video because clearly I can see on another officer's body worn camera, BWC, that her body worn camera has the actual date of the incident. So we got to stop reaching. A lot of us be reaching for no reason. All right. This is the issue is the sentencing. The issue is the sentencing. The issue is the sentencing.
It's the alleged suspect.
I am. No, I'm not. Well, I know how it goes. I'm not alleged
All right. Did y'all hear that? He said, I am not the alleged. He said, I know how this goes. He's like, I did it. Okay, so he clearly knows what he did. Once again, was he wrong for defending himself with a knife? Yes, he was, because it resulted of him unaliving another student. Once again, the issue is the sentencing. Why did he get 35 years, whereas somebody in a neighboring county only got 4 years and the charge dropped down to an aggravated assault for pow-powing and unaliving someone? All right. Trying to see what video this is of the West Side. So I think the home, I gotta figure out. Hold on. All right, so this is Liberty right there. Okay, so you see, all right, so this is Karmelo. So this is Karmelo going to the memorial tent. I said, was it memorial? Well, going to the tent. So that was him coming in from up under the bleachers or wherever he was coming from and going to the tent where Austin was. Well, he wasn't there at that time. Let's see. We're on video 4. Oh, my dogs is acting up. Yeah. These videos are. Oh boy, y'all going on one on Facebook. So I'm showing all the videos once again. I don't want nobody saying nothing. All right, so I think this is kind of the same one that we just saw, where we will see, I believe, Karmelo come out over here and walk to what we're seeing is our right, but it would have been his left. Oh, I remember. I swear I miss track so much. And when I did teach at high school, I was like, I wanted to do track, but I went to a charter school and they didn't have track. I wanted to be a coach, but that's neither here nor there. I did long distance. I know I'm just kind of going off on the deep end. 9:48. I'm going to pause this right quick and I'm going to answer this question. And I totally agree. I totally agree with you, Mr. Finney. He stated that, well, when it comes to the issue of the sentencing, you have to blame the defense, the attorney that the family hired him as to why he did not take a plea deal either of first or second degree manslaughter, but to fight this case outright based on self-defense was a big mistake. Okay. And I totally agree with you. I'm not sure if you tuned in earlier in my live, but initially we thought that the family was going to go with one of our like I know this not personally, but I know of him. I know one of the attorneys that I contract with. He does some things, criminal law cases and personal injury cases with him. But when I tell you that duo right there, they're awesome. And we initially, when this happened, everybody was advocating for the family to go with those attorneys. I don't know who said what, and it is a rumor out there that an individual who has been there since day one told them not to go with the duo that we was telling them to go with. And if that's the case, I'm very disappointed in that individual, because I was part of his organization briefly during the Black Lives Matter movement with George Floyd. And, we was doing stuff to make a difference in Dallas. And if we were actually doing work, I mean, pulling Dallas Police Department's records and budget and all this other stuff and trying to bring some type of change, like working with the department to make the city of Dallas better, right? But that particular individual, from what I have seen and heard, he told the family not to go with the duo. And I'm just like, are you serious right now? Which resulted in the family going with this. So I don't know who referred the family to go with that law office, but that wasn't it. Based off of the evidence that was submitted to, everything that I have showed you, this is evidence that they submitted to the court for the jury to look at. I am very disappointed. Even in a personal injury matter or family law matter that we handle, we have way more exhibits than that. I ain't got I wish I could, but I'm not going to pull all that other stuff. But our exhibit pages, a lot of exhibits. So for this being a criminal case, the defense attorney sucked. I'm blaming this on the defense attorney. He sucked. And I wish that the family went with the duo in the first place. But it's done. The only thing we could do at this point, and that's why I'm trying to use my platform, and it's not I'm not victim blaming. I'm not bashing anybody. I'm just stating what I feel, in my opinion, that sentence was too harsh for that child. Whereas you have another individual in a neighboring county whose charge was dropped down to an aggravated assault and they were sentenced to 4 years. The issue is the sentencing. The defense attorney on this case, and if he sees this video, I really don't care. He probably, what can you do? You can't get me fired because I work for myself. The defense sucked. The only thing we can do moving forward is ensuring that, and everybody's like, take the 35 years. Everybody has a right to appeal. Everybody has I don't care what you think about the situation, whether you hate the situation or not, everybody has a right to an appeal. Even in an eviction case, if the landlord wins the eviction, you still have a right to appeal. What does an appeal do? An appeal goes to, in this case, the Fifth Court of Appeals. All of the court records goes up to the Fifth Court of Appeals. All the pleadings that was submitted goes to the Fifth Court of Appeals. What do? They sit there, and what did I say? They have to focus on the lower court's decision. Was the decision made in error? Okay? That's what the appeals court does. So we have to wait and see what the appeals court, the Fifth Court of Appeals, does. This is going to be a process. Why? Because both the defense and the state have to submit briefs. And briefs ain't just two pages, okay? It ain't just 2 pages. I have written a couple of briefs, and that's something that I hate doing. But a brief is just pretty much the defense pretty much defending their client, providing case law, letting the court say, hey, okay, we feel that this was done in error. They have federal questions, all that other good stuff. The state, they do the same thing. They'll pretty much reply to what the defense submitted. Now, for Karmelo, he didn't have an attorney. So he has a court-appointed attorney, and this attorney is now based out of Rockwall. People were like, well, the family got money. At this end of the case, I don't care. Everybody's entitled. Y'all be surprised on people who have money that be like, I ain't got money to get a freaking court-appointed attorney. So I'm not knocking nobody. I am going to say this. Criminal attorneys, they're high. They're expensive. I know. But one thing a criminal attorney ain't going to do is going to chase you for your money. Because I got tired of doing that. Like, people will hire you just to hire you and get the result that they want, and then they won't pay the remaining of their balance. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. The fact is, he has a right to appeal, and now it's up to the Fifth Court of Appeals to see if the lower court's decision was, if there was something wrong, if it was ruled in error, or they didn't consider this or that. All of that will come out in their opinion. We have to give it time. Okay. Now, in the event that they do find something and say, hey, you guys didn't consider this or consider that, or the court did rule in error, it's going to go back down to the lower court. And that's when the duo's going to come in. And I can't wait for that. If the appeal goes the way that it can, I pray that, because I believe they already spoke with the family. And if that's the case, I am praying that the duo takes this on. Because once again, I am not disputing the fact that Karmelo was wrong for what he did. He should not have pulled out a weapon. The fact is the sentencing. That's all I'm saying. All right, let me go ahead and finish this out because I want to let y'all go. I need to go do my hair and feed these kids. So we're going to be looking at the top right-hand corner. When I tell you the amount of racism that is still alive and well is mind-boggling. That's exactly why, as a child, everybody say, if you black and brown, you might not want to live up in these parts. That's why you see majority of predominantly black neighborhoods in Cedar Hill and Duncanville and Lancaster. And a lot of people have misconceptions about that. They was like, they think that all of DeSoto and Duncanville is hood and all this other stuff. I'm a notary as well, and I have driven to some mansions that some predominantly black families live in Duncanville and DeSoto. So don't be fooled. But I just know that if you're any other color besides this side, Frisco, Collin County, Denton County is not for you. Hey, MEP, what's up, girl? What is up? I don't even know if he came out the stands. Came up in the stands yet. I really don't know. I've been blabbering. We really can't see anything. Well, like I said, I'm going to play this, so can't nobody say, hey, they're not showing the full video, because y'all quick to say that. It is so crazy, y'all. And I'm just looking because growing up, none of this existed. None of that existed. North Texas is really growing. Hey, Rose and Gold. Hey, love. So, hey, Gold Digger. Yes, ma'am. It's good to see y'all too. I missed y'all. I just been living life. I'm not even gonna lie to you. When I start getting overwhelmed or something, baby, I'm gonna shut it down. my mental is more important. So what we're looking at is just the camera view. As you can see, I'm not sure because I've been blabbering, but Karmelo came from this side, and so that's our right that we're looking. So he made a left. So he was actually walking to the tent. So this is just showing him walking to the tent. We got about a minute and 20 seconds left. Like, I don't know if y'all seen it, but the video that I played before this, we can clearly see him coming out of from up under the bleachers and walking towards the tent where the incident happened. We can't see anything. And if you've been watching, like I said before, you can't really see, you can't tell what is going on up under that tent. So place yourself and whew, if anything, this should be a message to go vote. This is a message that if you get that jury summons, go serve. That's all I'm going to say. Vote and do that jury duty. Thank you, Gold Digger. Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. God is good. My middle child graduated from high school a couple of months ago, and I said a couple of months ago in May. So I've just been enjoying. He graduated with honors, National Honor Society. Like I'm proud. Like, so now I got 2 out the door, and I got one that I think he just gonna outdo the older 2 because he's taking all advanced classes. He's going to the 8th grade, and he's in the National Junior Honor Society, Avid, and all the other stuff. So that's the reason I moved out of Collin County, because I already saw a pattern of where this was going. Just living and prosper. I said, nope, I want my kids to be in a diverse school. And I dragged my tail right on the Richardson, Texas, Dallas County side. I didn't want to deal with Collin County. I don't want to deal with Denton County. But if I had to, I would rather move to Denton County than ever step foot again in Collin County. It's just not it. And I think this is the parking lot footage. So I already showed y'all the footage of the arrest from beginning to end. So everybody should have a full picture as to what is going on. And you know what? I can actually speed this up. It's only 2 minutes. So I'm speeding it up so we can see. So, okay. So that's the stadium. So that's the home side. This is the visitor side right here. And it may look like people are running, but they're not. I just speeded up the camera footage. So I don't know exactly what this show, because everything happened not happened over here, but this is the entrance right here. So this is the visitor side right there, and obviously that's the home side right there. I don't even know what I'm going to cook today. And I'm drinking cold coffee. So, whether we like it or not, in my opinion, I'm going to keep saying that, I don't believe Karmelo's intention was to unalive that young man. It's very unfortunate that he pulled out a weapon. And it's very unfortunate that the young man didn't make it. But if anything that you take away from my stream is that I want you guys to understand that the sentencing was way too harsh. It was way too harsh. I've seen comments where they're stating that he should have gotten more than 35 years. And we're not trying to make this a race thing, but why is it when I pull up records, black and brown in Collin County get way harsher punishment for the same crimes that they get? If you can't understand that that is an issue, something's morally wrong with you. I need somebody that's to tell me exactly why is it that in Collin County, a black or brown person, or a minority for that matter, gets way harsher punishment than their counterparts. I told y'all about Greg, the DA, the district attorney, who my own old firm just filed a lawsuit against for sexual harassment. This is the man who says, okay, I want you to investigate this. This is the man who says, okay, we're going to get you, and this is what we're going to impose. This is the sentence. This is the man that holds the ball. He holds the key. He holds the cards. So we have a DA who has committed sexual crimes, sexual assault crimes. Let me be fair about that. Right? And there was no criminal charges brought against him, but there were civil suits in which my old firm brought against him, and my best friend actually was the paralegal on that. And there's some things that was done: discrimination, harassment, you name it. But this is the DA. So why is this man still the district of attorney in Collin County? It's because we don't go out there and we don't vote. Thank you, Gold Digger. Yes. Yeah. And it is. It's very important to ensure that our kids live in, because what they always say, you're a product of your environment. Like before I had kids, Frisco was it. Frisco was it. I said, you know what? My kids is going to go to Frisco ISD. Now, they was born in Frisco, but I didn't stay because I didn't like it. It wasn't a bad place. However, it was a place where we got a lot of stairs. It was a place where I was driving a Mercedes and people asking me, where is your husband? At that time, is your husband a drug dealer? Like what? Black people can't have nice things? Black people can't live in a nice house? Black people can't have good jobs? No, my ex-husband, he was actually in the military. I was like, nope, I don't want my kids to have to experience any of that. So I moved on to Richardson, Dallas County, and that's where I've been. Dallas County, in my opinion, is the fairest county. And the reason why I say, look at Amber Geiger. That is the police officer that unalived John Botham. If y'all don't know who that is, that was the in Dallas. She went to the wrong apartment and she thought it was her apartment, thought an intruder was in there, powed and unalive this young man. Guess how many years she got? She got 10 years. And that's in Dallas County. That's an officer unaliving an individual, but that's Dallas County. Dallas County gave her 10 years. I mean, can somebody like I'm not understanding this, and it frustrates me that people don't understand that this is a problem in these counties. Collin County is the most, but besides Hill County, Collin County is the most conservative county. Look at the DA, look at the judges, look who we have as elected officials and appointed officials in these areas. Okay? So, no, it's not about race, but we have to understand the county that it's in. And I'm going to keep bringing it up. Denton County, white boy kills black boy. Drops down to an aggravated assault. He got 4 years for pow-powing because he was delivering a package and he thought he was about to get robbed. He got 4 years. Police officer, Dallas County, walks into somebody, thought she was walking into her apartment, pow-powed and unalived an innocent person who was sitting down watching TV trying to figure out why this lady is in his house. She got 10 years. That's Dallas County. But Collin County, we're going to give a 17-year-old 35 years. I swear on my life, if y'all don't see a problem with that, we are in trouble. We are in trouble. I'm not talking about any other state. I'm not talking about George Floyd. I'm not talking about George Zimmerman, with the Trayvon Martin. I'm talking about right here in the county. Like, I go outside, I drive 5 minutes, I'm in Collin County. I'm talking about the county that is right next to me. And you know what other county is bad? Okay, well, this is Dallas County, but then we got to look at the jurisdictions. Y'all, and even in Dallas County, because I know a few people that are in trouble in Dallas County, but near the Rockwall area. So there's like what, Hunt County, Dallas County, Rockwall County. And their punishment is way harsher than this. If we don't stand up for anything, it's going to keep happening. And I'm going to keep saying, it's not about the stabbing itself. He was wrong for pulling out a knife. The issue is the sentencing. 35 years. 35 years. Don't make me go and pull up all the cases of Black and brown people or minorities in Collin County and compare it to the counterparts. Because I think some of you need a visual. If you don't live here, you will never understand. You can see it and you can make your own opinion. But if you're not experiencing what's actually happening in Collin County, that's a problem. The same county that has an issue of a Muslim community wanting to buy 400 acres, starting with putting businesses out there, putting schools out there, apartments and housing, right? Allowing people from anywhere. They're welcoming anybody. They're welcoming anybody to come work, to come live, to come teach at their schools. But Collin County is fighting the Muslim community from starting that. They think that for some reason they're going to take over. You can't take over. If they want to purchase 400 acres of land to build it, why can't they do that? How else did all these other towns start? Like I said, I've been here since 92 and I didn't watch Little M probably had 10 people and now they got over thousands of people. I watched Frisco grow. So what's wrong with somebody wanting to establish a community? I'm not understanding this, but yet we have Elon Musk. If we go all the way down to South Texas, he can buy acres of land, do the same thing that the Muslims want to do in Collin County, but yet I guess because he's this and he has money and he, I guess, not a threat, it's okay for them to do that. Please make this make sense. Collin County is racist. I'm on Facebook. I never got out of groups on Facebook for Collin County. And the shit that I see is ridiculous. I seen a one so somebody took a picture of a lady in her hijab in her outfit. And oh my God, I wish I could find that post. And they said, look at this, no, they said, what do you see in this picture? And when I say it was a lot of racist comments, it was racist. So I made my comment and said, all I see is a woman shopping in a grocery store. That's all I saw. I didn't. So am I automatically supposed to say, oh my God, she's a terrorist? Those are the type of people that live in Collin County. Those are the type of people that live in Collin County. So it's a problem. It may not be a problem to you because you're not being the one that's targeted or affected by anything. That sentence of 35 years was way too harsh for a 17-year-old. Whereas his other counterparts that has committed stabbings and unaliving people are getting 3, 4 years, 5 years. Nothing, not 35 years. But I think because this case became so national and it had a lot of heat to it, they was like, okay, we're going to make an example out of somebody. And unfortunately, it was Karmelo. Once again, I'm not condoning what he did. He was wrong. The sentence was just too harsh. It was way too harsh. Let me see. What's this next video? Let me see. It's a big problem. The DA, Greg Willis, calls a $1.75 million payout and goes on with life like, oh yeah. Go there. And I don't know if you was on, but my old firm handled that. They did the lawsuit. So my best friend was the paralegal on the case. So they like individual. So one, there was women that didn't want their names out there. Let's start with that. But two, when we get cases, we have to do client interviews. And it's very, very, very sad. And it was not just women. It was also men. Like they got sued. Well, he got sued, and as well as other of his employees or whoever you want to call them, got sued not just for sexual harassment, but also for employment discrimination and retaliation. Because they're like, well, if you say something, we're going to do this. And I'm pretty sure that there was a lot of tea in that case, but I'm pretty sure he said that, I'll make it to where you don't get a job nowhere else. That's the kind of mindset I feel Mr. Greg Willis is on. Collin County, the state of Texas, we got to vote. Black people fight to win votes and also fight for mass abortions. I don't even know what that even means, but we need to fight to make a change. We need to fight to have more diverse people in Collin County. That jury, I need to, now somebody said it was all, like, it's supposed to be a jury of your peers. And none of them jurors, his peers. None of them jurors look like him. Based off of what I see, you could not see anything that was in that tent. All you saw was commotion. All you saw was Karmelo exiting and running. This was based on what those people said on the stand. The defense counsel, he didn't do his job. I don't care. 35 years, there was absolutely. Oh, I wish they would have went with the duo. I'm speeding it up. Oh, this one was 15 minutes. Oh, okay. So we are not going to see. So once again, the incident is there. And the only thing we're really going to see is Karmelo running, going onto the field. I'm assuming that they are going to stop, and then we're going to see him exiting or being walked out by the police. I'm playing the whole video, but I have sped it up so that way we won't be here too much longer. We all have a purpose. And that's why I was telling my boyfriend last night, like, I feel like I'm in the areas that I want to be in as far as like the legal field and education. But on the legal side, I just feel like I can do more being more than just the paralegal. And I think it's something that's needed. It's not many of us Black people, uh, Black and brown, because I don't even see a lot of Hispanics when it comes to criminal law. I really feel that this is an area where we can truly make a difference. And I understand why some attorneys don't want to dibble and dabble in criminal law. One, I mean, the pay is also good, but that's only if people actually pay, because people pay and don't pay their balance, and then you got to hunt them down and everything. But it's all about making a difference in the community. And as long as if we don't have minorities standing up in the courtroom for us, this cycle is going to continue to go on. And y'all can see the rain. People are walking with umbrellas. People are standing under this tent. Like nobody, unless you are up under the bleachers, that's one thing. And I said it before, it's not a crime to be up under somebody's tent. You know, if another student is telling you to move, I'm going to look at you like, what is raining? Where am I going? Back up under the bleachers. I'm talking to my friend, you know? Yep. I mean, at the end of the day, you should have went to go tell coach. If he didn't want to move, you should have went ahead and told coach. Karmelo, you shouldn't have pulled out that knife. It's just a bad situation overall. It really is. It's 2 lives, like one is lost and one is in jail. 18-year-olds now. And I look at my 18-year-old and I can't imagine that. But I know that they were scared. These are high school kids. Like if you never taught in high school, you have probably 2% that don't give a damn about nothing. But the rest of them, if stuff was to pop off, they're not going to know what to do. I'm just going to be real with you. They're not going to know what they haven't grown. They haven't lived life enough to understand or to comprehend what's going on. Like I'm sure that they're aware and they know the consequences kind of, but if something was to happen in a blink of an eye, they're not going to know what to do. Okay, let me see. All right, I'm trying to see. So we're going to be looking right here. And the reason why I'm showing these videos is because I don't want people being like, well, the videos aren't out there. People aren't showing all of the videos. I'm making it my duty to ensure that everybody sees every last video footage there is. And I think it happened around 9:58, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, this is sad. All right, let's see. I think about 2 more minutes. See all these kids, everybody just probably getting off the bus. And if you see everybody walking fast, that's because I sped up the video. All right, here's Karmelo. If y'all see him, he's right here where my cursor is. There's people following him. Then right here, he stops and then he goes onto the field. So as y'all can see, that's him right there where my mouse is. So we ain't gonna be now. Everybody's running. Look, everybody's running because I'm pretty sure. So if we think about it, these are kids. They're scared. What they gonna do? They're gonna run. And then I think shortly we might, I don't know if the police came in this way or the other way, but we're going to see in just a sec. We got 2 more minutes. Probably not. So now everybody at this point is leaving. Yeah, you know what? I just think about this. This comment made absolutely no sense. Like, what? And it's always people who don't have a profile. They always want to call them troll accounts. Yep, track me over. Oh, she had the baton in her hand. Oh. And everybody leaving. He's like, let's go. Because, I mean, that's a precaution. Everything goes down. Got to clear the stadium. All right. That was that one. Now, this is the east side of the football field. Let's see. I know I watched some of these videos, not all, so I can't recall exactly. So some of these I'm watching for the first time with you guys. What time is it? 3? Ooh, we've been on here for a minute. All right, so that is the tent right there. Now this is an 18-minute video. I sped it up. So this is the tent in that left-hand corner. Let me see. I'm gonna try to make it. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so this is the tent, and we already seen it from the other angle. But I don't know. So I know one camera angle showed Karmelo walking towards the tent. I don't know exactly at what time that was. I probably need to go and rewatch them and kind of pinpoint that. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it just like that. I'm just gonna leave it like this, but y'all, and this is the last video. So this is what we're basing everything off of, what we see here. And I know another video kind of zoomed in, but it wasn't clear enough to see how everything played out. We just seen a little bit of movement, and we see Karmelo exit the tent and take off running. Once again, everything is going to be based off of everybody who was up under that tent in this, like in the surrounding area, to actually know exactly what happened. Yeah, and I mean, it's a track meet. So in the text messages that I showed earlier, and this is from experience, there has never been a coach in our tent. If we're hanging out under the bleachers, there's never been a coach up under the bleachers. I mean, they'll walk by and stuff like that. But for this particular the coach was like, he's not going to be in the tent. He's going to be actually help, because there you got shot put, you got discus, you got the javelin, you got high jump, you have different things. So each coach probably had to work a different station. So it's not like you're gonna be there and they're not gonna put you to work. You're gonna have to do. And I don't know if this was a district meet. So, but he sent a text message and told Austin and another individual to go set up the tent. You're the leaders. Make sure everything goes good. All that other stuff. You know. And once again, I don't want anybody to think that I am victim blaming. Okay. But as a school official, okay, I'm just telling you that from a teacher's point of view, the thing would have been if you asked somebody to leave and they did not leave, and obviously he could text or call a coach and say, hey, I got somebody up under the tent that don't want to leave. Can you please come over here and handle the situation? I mean, he seemed like he was cool enough with his coach to say that. You know what I'm saying? And then none of this would have happened. That's not victim blaming. That is pretty much saying all of this could have been, not in existence if it would have gone the right way. But unfortunately, it didn't. Unfortunately, Karmelo did what he did, and now we are here. I was like, have they already walked over there? Let me see. I sped it up, so we got about 9 minutes left. All right, because I remember this dude walking down right there. Okay, and that's the dude with the yellow poncho. I remember seeing them. I should have looked at the other timestamp to see exactly when Karmelo walked. Because it's like, okay, how long was he under the tent before Austin and them came? All right, so then there was the individual with the white shirt that came. Trying to make sure it's big enough. So, like, this is what we're looking at. This is our view. This is the same view that the jury had. The same view. All right, so you see, so I'm gonna go back 10 seconds. So this is what we see. Actually, let me go back some more. So pay attention to this area. You see that? I'm gonna go 10 and 10. There we go. Pay attention. All we see, mind you, this is the same view. You see like some back and forth, him exiting. Now he's running. Okay, I'm gonna play it one more time. So if we look closely, all you see is like little figures moving. You'll see little figures moving right here. You see that? Some back and forth. He shoots out and he takes off running. Now he's running. People are chasing him. He stops and walks for a minute. See, now I'm gonna tell you how it is. When you see everybody else running, you better run and ask questions later. That's what pretty much everybody did. So now everybody's up under the tent. I don't know how long it took them to get there, but people now exiting, they leaving. So everybody has seen every angle No excuses. Okay. If y'all don't know where he's standing, he is standing right here. Right there. And now, I believe shortly he's going to end up walking over. Put his hands on top of his head. He's still right there. So I'm sure up under here, they was doing what they need to do, compressions, trying to do CPR and things of that nature until EMS and the police show up. So during that time, that's where at the beginning of the video, I played the 911 calls. All right. Here he is right here. It appears that he had his hands on the top of his head like that. Now they're walking. And I believe that's the police at that time, if I'm not mistaken. Because then they ended up making him sit down. So he was there and they was checking his pocket. Yeah, so I think that's where the police came. So everybody, y'all have heard the 911 calls. You have seen the arrests. We have a view of the tent. However, once again, you can't see exactly, like, take out everything that you know and base your opinion or draw your inferences or draw your conclusions based off of what you can see. This is exactly what we saw. We saw the same thing. What we're watching right now is the same thing that the jury saw. So that really the only thing the jury let me get out of this. Stop sharing. Okay, so the only thing that the jury saw was everything that I went through. The pictures, the video, the audio, the body worn cameras. Based off of what we've seen, you can't definitively see clearly what happened under the tent. The only thing we can base on, and I say we can't do nothing, but the jury could have based on is the witness statements. And that's why I am going to work to try to see if I can get a copy of the court transcript, because I really want to know what was said. I really wish I would have gone to the trial, but unfortunately my paralegal duties were needed that week during discovery. But that's the only thing that the jury had to go off of, was the witnesses that was up under the tent. The defense counsel, he did absolutely nothing. Who was it? Hold on. And some people are saying that that the attorney, Collin County. Hold on. Let me go back to this. I'll be thinking about stuff and then I end up window. I'm trying to see something. Because some people are saying that the same attorney that was for Karmelo Anthony is the same attorney for Yellow Beezy. And I'm like, that ain't true. That is not true. Oh, I'm not going to show. two different things. Freak. I don't like that one. I like this one. I never. I need to do that too. Anthony Carmelo. Oops. Yeah, it's not gonna show. I wish it would have showed the attorney, but this is who it was. Law Office of Michael. Oh, is it Mike Howard? There. Oop, 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 oop. Him. This was his attorney. And like I told y'all before, like I need to know what your win rate is, what your dismissal rate is. I need to know before anything. Um, Aggravated assault, causing injury, dismissed. Robbery, capital murder, reduced. Murder, dismissed. So y'all see his rap sheet. Oh man. Well, that's a good question. That is a very good question. I don't so ooh, I'm sorry, y'all, for yawning on this. Okay, so what would be the reason defense attorney not to call forth a character witness on behalf of Karmelo? Hold on, y'all. Let me answer my boyfriend before he get on. Okay, I'm back. All right, so what would be the reason for defense attorney not to call forth character witnesses on behalf of Karmelo? So before trial even start, you have to exchange a witness list, and so your witness list, Cash, hush. Your witness list would have to be submitted to the prosecution, and the prosecution will say, okay, we kind of like we agree to have this witness, so on and so forth. So maybe if there was a character witness, two things can happen. One, he probably didn't call for any character witnesses, or two, the state probably says no, we don't agree for that witness. That's the only thing that I can think of as to why um, none was, took the stand on behalf of Karmelo. I think based off of what he submitted as evidence, if you see the photos at the beginning of the video, he, took photos from the girlfriend's family, I'm assuming, trying to paint a, a picture to have people say, okay, this is his character. He's loving, he's fun loving, he's outgoing, whatever the case may be. I think that's what he was trying to do when he submitted those photos into evidence. But as far as why he didn't call forth a character witness, maybe he didn't do it, or he submitted the witness list and the state said, no, you can't call that witness. That's the only thing that I can think of. Yeah, but we won't know unless he come out and say it. I swear. But this is the law office of Mike Howard. This was Karmelo's attorney. As you can see, he gets murder cases dismissed, or what was that other one? Reduced. Well, this is organized crime, but I don't know. Based off the lack of evidence, he just didn't present well. I don't know what to say other than based off of what he submitted as evidence, it didn't do Karmelo no justice at all. Now, I was expecting for him to, you know, get sentenced if that makes sense, but not that harsh of a sentence. If you can dismiss the case based off of the evidence that was submitted, that's good. I mean, but it still doesn't take away what happened. Somebody was unalived. But as far as you as an attorney doing your due diligence to ensure, because that's the whole purpose of people paying a defense attorney, is to defend them, to either get the case dismissed or the charges reduced, or to work out some type of deal. But 35 years, like, I don't know, like, this dude, as you can see, you get murder cases dismissed. You get cases either dismissed or the charges reduced. Yet this boy got 35 years. The video that we seen, can't nobody tell exactly what happened under that tent. All we see is some back and forth movement and a person running from the tent. We also see the body cam footage where he admits that he did it. Okay, so that's an admission right there. Okay, he admits that he did it. He also stated that I told him not to push me. Granted, I'm not saying that because he got pushed, the knife was, stabbing somebody was the right thing to do, because it wasn't. But I don't think that he had an intention to unalive this kid at a track meet. It wasn't premeditated. He didn't wake up and say, okay, I'm about to go unalive somebody at the track meet. No. But what has happened. The issue is the sentence. 35 years is way too much for a 17-year-old. Whereas in Denton County, you had somebody whose charges was reduced, only serving 4 years, or sentenced for 4 years rather. Then in Dallas County, you got an officer that unalived somebody because she thought that, she walked in the wrong apartment after her keys didn't work, and she got 10 years. But here we have a 17-year-old who stabbed somebody, who was unalived, unfortunately, and got 35 years. That is the issue. That's the whole purpose of me doing this live, was to show everybody, okay, this is what the jury saw. These are the exhibits that was submitted to the court for evidence. 35 years is harsh. I told y'all about Collin County. I told y'all about the DA and everything. No, we're not trying to make this into a race thing. And I don't even know how to explain that. We're not. Collin County is not for Black people. I've experienced it. Collin County is not for anybody of color, whether you are, Muslim, whether you are Black, whether you are Hispanic. It's not for you. The DA is crooked. I don't care. And I'm not even basing his crookedness off of this case. I'm basing it off of the case that my old firm did. All right, so y'all can say what y'all want to say. Greg Willis is crooked. And this is based off of a case that was filed against him, filed by my old firm. This is a case where employees came and say either he was, discriminated against them, sexually harassed, or retaliated against. Greg Willis is the prosecutor of Collin County. He is the one who determined who gets indicted. He is the one who determined who gets investigated. He is the one to determine the sentence. And if Black people, brown people, any person of color that is living in Collin County don't understand this, I don't understand. And for everybody saying, oh, Collin County is not racist, unfortunately, you don't experience what we experience. I'm just gonna go through the Collin County Facebook page and I'm gonna screenshot everything. Like, Trump has made it to where people are blatantly like they just don't give, and I know I'm gonna cuss, but they don't give a fuck. They don't. They give not two fucks about anything. It's just out in the open. I'm racist. I don't care. You can't do nothing to me because Trump is my president. You can't do nothing to me because Collin County is conservative or Greg Abbott is the governor and all this other stuff. Collin County is a racist county. They are not fair. The DA is crooked. The people who work for the DA is crooked. I don't give a damn. They crooked. Had this been Denton County, had this been Dallas County, it would probably been, he probably would have got sentenced. You know what I'm saying? If he had that lawyer, he probably got sentenced. But I don't think that it would have been as harsh. Like, all of the jurors are from Collin County. The people in do your research. Type in Collin County. That's all you gotta do. But I know for a fact, because I lived in Collin County, how they roll. And I would never live there. I had somebody message me on Facebook, said that that's why they got about that county. Collin County is not fair. The DA is crooked. Yeah. So the only thing that we can do, people of color, is we got to stand up. I said earlier that he does have a right to appeal. Like, I don't know why that's an issue with some of these people on this here. And I'm not even gonna say on social media, because like people are blatantly like, why is he appeal? Because he has a right to appeal. Just like if somebody was evicted and the landlord won, guess what? They can appeal it. He has that right to appeal. Now it's up to the Fifth Court of Appeals to say whether or not the lower court decision was ruled in error. And that's something that we're going to have to wait on. It's not something that's going to happen in 2 or 3 weeks. Both sides have to submit a brief, and they can either set it for oral argument. If not, it's going to take time for those judges or whoever is assigned to review both briefs, to review all the evidence, all the pleadings, all the court, transcripts, all of that. And then they will come, and determine whether or not the lower court decision ruled in error. Yeah. I pulled that they filed it in federal court. Baby, the things that my friend was telling me, I can't remember quietly, but I know there was some tea on there, and I'm just like, what? The district attorney, and you telling me he still gets to be but that's what happens in Texas. It just seems like you can do something very bad and still be an official in office. Look at Ken Paxton, the attorney governor of Texas. And who else? It was somebody else. But you got these crooked officials in these offices that have committed some heinous crimes, and they still, like, these folks is really going out here electing these people in office. Why? Because we can't get up off our tails and go vote. Either somebody's telling you that, oh, I'm not going to vote because it's not going to make a difference and all this other stuff. And now everybody's mad because of what? So yeah, I'm kind of pissed off at that too. Because now we have cases like these, and now everybody's in an uproar because something unfair has happened. This is a result for people not getting off their ass and going to vote. How can you make a difference? What can you contribute to your community? Now, everybody might live in different states, different counties, or whatever. And so you can't really help. But I know what I have to do in order. I live in Dallas County. I wouldn't dare move to Collin County. I don't care. I don't care to do that. But what can I do as an individual to ensure that people of color, minorities are treated fairly in Collin County? I think I have to be a little bit more than a paralegal. And so that's what I'm working on, because that's how I think I am going to make a difference in my community. So whatever's going on in your community, you have to sit down and say, hey, how can I contribute to ensure that we don't have stuff like this happen? What, like literally every day that you get up, you need to ask yourself, how can I make my community a better place? What can I do to ensure that it's fair, it's just, everybody is equal under the law? It shouldn't be about race, but unfortunately, we have to understand the factors. We got to understand the cards that's given to us. Collin County just ain't it. Collin County has, like, over the years, as you know, Plano and Frisco and McKinney and Prosper and all them places grow, we got to realize the people that are flooding to these areas. A lot of conservative people, and I'm not saying it's all white folks. Hell, you got black folks, Hispanic folks who just like, why he should have got more time. So I'm not just putting this on one race, but what I am saying is, for Collin County, that defense attorney did not do dilly squat. That boy should not have gotten 35 years. That is extremely harsh for anybody his age. I'm not going to say, a 35-year-old or whatever the case may be, but we're talking about a child here. What time is it? It's 3:42. Baby, we've been on here. Yep. Yes, ma'am. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm gonna put, so if anybody want to come up and say their piece, I'm dropping a link in the chat and I'm pinning it. But if I do invite you up here, we're not going to be on no funny stuff. We're going to be respectful. Everybody has their right to an opinion. Okay? I'm like, oh, that's my stream. I'm like, what's going on? Everybody has a right to their opinion. But what we're going to do is we're going to keep it professional. We're going to talk amongst adults. We're not going to put anybody down. We're not going to be doing any name calling. None of that. The question that I pose to everybody is, after everything that I have spoken about today, about the neighboring counties, about other cases where people got lesser charges or lesser sentencing, I should say, like, do you feel that the 35 years was harsh? Now, I know some people going to be like, no, and some people going to be like, yeah, but I want to hear your opinions based off of what we've seen. When you're in litigation, it's based off of tangible evidence of facts. And then also you have witness statements and all this other stuff. We can't see anything that happened under the tent. We can't say who pushed who. We can't say that we saw him take a, weapon out of his bag. We can't say that he stabbed anybody, because we really did not see it. None of the video footage that we saw, we did not see any of that. And that is the same footage that the jury saw. But the jury has one up on us because they were able to listen to the witnesses that took the stand. And based off of what the witnesses said, that is what they had to base everything off of. So with that being said, so I'm probably 1 minute. If nobody wants to come up here, I'm gonna shut this down. But I just want to provide everybody, we've been on for like 3 hours and 44 minutes, but at least everybody got to see the video. Everybody understands now what happened. We can't see clearly. Everything was based off of witness statements in court. That's what the jury relied on. So can't nobody, like, maybe I got 20/20 vision. I have 20/20 vision, but I want y'all to understand this is not an if then whatchamacallit. On those videos, we could not see who was who. All we see was movement and a person running out of the tent. How they identified who was running out of the tent, I mean, obviously now that we know, okay, that was Karmelo, but it had to be based off of whoever was in the tent. They can say, okay, yeah, this was Austin, this was Hunter, this was Karmelo, this was the friend that Karmelo was talking to. That is the only way. It was through the witnesses. Other than that, we can't sit here and say, okay, yep, he did it. We seen him do it. No. You just can't. And you have to be honest with that. That's number one. But number two, he admitted that he did it. He said, I did it. I'm not the alleged. I did it. Okay, so we know he did it. And he is, like I said, my child, we know he did it. He said he did it. Was he wrong for doing it? Yes, he was wrong for doing it. But the sentence was harsh. That's what I'm trying to get to the masses. It's not about whether or not he did it. It's not a matter of, it was self-defense. It is a matter of him getting 35 years for it. He was not right in taking that weapon out at all. But do you have a right to defend yourself? Yes, you do. But he should have used them hands instead of a weapon. That's what I teach my kids. But if you don't feel comfortable fighting, you better go tell somebody. Period. All right, y'all. So nobody wants to come up. I am not stressing about that. I'm about to let y'all go. But as I stated before, the question is, was the 35 years too harsh based off of what I provided to you guys today? You seen what happened in Denton County where the young man got 4 years and the charge reduced down to an aggravated assault. We saw in Dallas County, or not saw, but I told you guys, Amber Geiger. That case was a huge case. The officer who walked into somebody else's apartment, unalived them, she got 10 years. She appealed and the appeal it didn't work. But Dallas County, 10 years for a pow-powing. Denton County, 4 years, charged, dropped down to an aggravated assault for a pow-powing. Collin County, fatal stabbing, 35 years. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Thank everybody for coming over, chatting with me, reviewing this with me. Once again, like I said, try to make a difference in your community. For me, this hits home because I live here. I have children around that age, so it's very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Gold Digger said, and we know now that Eddie didn't tell the truth on the stand about his friendship with Karmelo, 35 years overcharged. Yeah. And it's all about, when it comes to the defense, I really don't know. I probably need to watch out. Contact the individual who actually went to the trial. But for the defense counsel to not, I don't know if he even cross-examined. I don't know if he cross-examined. I don't know if he objected to anything. I just don't. That's why I need to get my hands on that court transcript. But a lot more is going to come out. But like I said, 35 years, like you said, Gold Digger, that's an overcharge. Shouldn't have been that long. Should not have been that long at all. that defense counsel failed them. And if the family, I mean, what can you do? You can't get your money back. You can't get your money back. I know that there's people out there that are raising money for legal fees, and I'm just going to tell you this because I do have, I don't know if it's right hand or left hand knowledge or whatever the case may be. Stop the donations. um, me personally, I don't like the GoFundMe's. I feel I know that there's people probably out there that's genuinely raising money for the family, and that's fine and dandy. And there's probably people that are wanting to donate. And if y'all do donate, like I said before, I do know that the duo might be, I have to confirm, but I think they might, if the appeal goes and they come back and say, hey, okay, these are things that y'all did not consider, the court ruled an error, and it goes back down to trial court, and the duo ends up taking this, it would be nice. It would be a very, very nice donation. However, I would actually wait and see how the appeal goes, and then go ahead and if it goes back to the lower court, then I'll say, yeah, okay, go ahead. And if y'all want to reach out to the duo and donate to them, that would be great. But as of right now, I don't think people should be creating GoFundMe's and collecting money on their behalf when we just are in the appeal stage. Even with the appeal, that they're court appointed. A court appointed person gets paid by the state. Okay, so I don't know how it is. If I don't think they're going to accept the donation, because like I said, they're doing it and they're getting paid by the state. But I would not donate to anything until you see how the appeal goes. And if that is the case, and the duo team takes this case, and I think they might be taking it pro bono, but it would be nice to, donate, because it does cost to file court documents and all this other stuff. Okay. To do depositions and mediations and go to trial and all the other stuff, it does cost. So that would help them a great deal. But as of right now, in that appeal stage, I will honestly say, don't be donating or creating any type of GoFundMe's until y'all see how the appeal process goes. That's just my opinion. Hey, people probably gonna come after me. I really don't care. I'm just telling y'all what I know. Okay. But thank y'all for tuning in for me. Like I said before I end, don't feel as if I'm not trying to victim shame. I'm not doing that. What Karmelo did was wrong. The 35 years was harsh. Collin County is crooked. The DA is crooked. There's racism alive and well in Collin County. I would never step foot. Now I go to the mall, to the outlet mall in Collin County. I might go to Cheesecake Factory, but as far as living there, I'm not going to do it. Okay, but y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Okay, I've been off the scene for a minute, just living my best life, and I was like, okay. But normally my channel, every now and then, I'll talk about matters such as these, because I am passionate in the legal field. So I am passionate about what goes on in my community and things of that nature. But normally I do celebrity court cases. I pull up lawsuits and look at court dockets and just kind of get the celebrity tea. But at the end of the day, that's all fun and games. But this is serious, because it affects all of us. It affects your children, your children's children. It affects us as a community. And that's why I decided to do this, because I'm not doing this because this is a national thing. I'm doing this to bring awareness. I'm bringing awareness of where I live and what we as a community have to go through and endure with people like the DA and his counterparts. Even though I don't live over there, it still affects me. because my kids might interact with people like I have friends and I have family that live in Denton in Collin County. So I'm pretty much a part of this, whether I like it or not. But I just cannot sit here and allow for the injustice to continue. I can't allow for people to be discriminated upon based off of their color. Um, a lot of people don't understand what the term racist means. I think people need to look that up. I don't think that minorities feel like they're superior to any race. All we're asking for is equality. All we ask for is fairness. And the only way we're going to do that if we get the right people in office, if we get the right people to appoint the right people in those positions, I think it would be better. I think we need we need more black and brown and minority or colored, probably not the term I want to use, but we need more of that in Collin County. We can't be afraid to be filing cases in Collin County because we know the DA is crooked, or we know that, you know, the government system there, that they're a little racist or whatnot. We got to stop being scared. We have to stop being scared. And I think it starts now. But once again, thank y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Share this video. Leave comments below. Make sure the comments are like, I will block you. I will delete your comment. Make sure that we're not calling anybody watermelon felons, because I hate that. And I know I'm bad. And yesterday was Juneteenth, and I love my people. But I will go 0 to 100 on you. Please don't make me call you out. I can't deal with racism and disrespect. We are all humans. We all bleed the same color. All right? Just keep it cute in the comments. All right? Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday. I'm out. Bye.